Chapter 879. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. January 28th, 25th of the 12th lunar month. There were only 5 days left until New Year's Eve. As the Spring Festival approached, China was filled with a festive atmosphere. In the huge Shanghai, a large number of foreigners began to return home. The roads were jammed with cars. Heaven Division. Martial arts practice ground. A large number of people began to gather. Killing intent soared to the heavens. Is everyone here? Fan Ping stood on the central platform. This was the soldier roll call platform. Below, Li Hansong replied in a loud voice. Minister! Everyone was present. There are 7 rank 9s, 26 rank 8s, 62 rank 7s, 235 rank SIXS. There should be 330. But there are 330. This was the current strength of Heaven Division. Beigong Yen, Qinqi, Tian Mu, the 2 demonic beasts, and Su Bing. A total of 7 rank 9s. In addition to Fan Ping and Old Man Li, who possess rank 9 combat effectiveness, 9 rank 9s all possessed elemental Dao abilities. After Tian Mu came out of seclusion, this time, the old man did not pursue his own path. According to him, the path that could kill the enemy was the Great Tao. He directly followed King Song's Great Tao. This time, he walked almost 500 meters from his previous weak rank 9. Moreover, the Great Tao was right in front of him, and the path was clear. This was also the benefit of inheriting the path of a true king. No matter how far King Song walked, Tian Mu would advance by leaps and bounds before him. Everyone is here, Fan Ping said loudly. The Heavenly Division has just been established. When the Heavenly Division was established, its purpose was clear, and that was to destroy the heavens. Suppress the 3 realms. The moment these words came out, the expressions of Su Bing and Zhang Xian changed slightly. Fan Ping did not care. Right now, everyone was just in a cooperative relationship, a cooperation of benefits. So what if he said it out loud? The Heaven Division has only been established for 3 days. Everyone here is a veteran who has been fighting for many years. Fan Ping doesn't need to say much. 3 days is enough for everyone to arrange everything. Today is the first battle of the Heaven Tribe. I hope that everyone will be able to spread the name of my Tian Division and fight for a bright future. 100 years ago, China only defended and did not attack, allowing the enemy to be arrogant. 100 years later, China's strength increased tremendously. A large number of powerhouses fought for decades, killing their way to the top. Since the enemy doesn't want to stop fighting, then we'll stop fighting with weapons. Everyone, do you dare to fight? You dare! A loud roar resounded through the clouds. Nearly 100 high-ranked powerhouses were seething with murderous intent, wreaking havoc everywhere. In the crowd, Su Bing, Jiaokui, and a few rank 7 and 8 mystic heaven powerhouses were pale. They had also conquered the heavens. However, there had never been a generation of martial artists with such strong killing intent like the new martial artists. Ancient martial arts powerhouses cultivated for longevity. Neo-martial artists cultivated for the sake of killing and fought for their lives through killing. Then let's go! Today, he would wipe out the evil sect. Destroy the root of the evil cult. As soon as he finished speaking, Fan Ping leaped into the air. Everyone followed suit. With the help of high-ranked powerhouses, some of the rank 6 martial artists flew southwest at top speed. High in the sky, Fan Ping took the lead. He was clad in Heaven's combat armor and carrying a Chan Now on his back. His vitality was soaring. Fan Ping, who had a grave and stern expression on his face, quickly transmitted his voice at this moment. This won't do! Every time a large group of people flew, not only was it inconvenient, but it was also not imposing enough. We have to get a divine weapon, the large kind that can carry hundreds of people and travel through the air, like a warship. Tian Mu and Beigong Yen stood beside him. These 2 people also held the position of deputy minister this time. Hearing this, Beigong Yen thought for a while and said quickly, This kind of large divine weapon can be refined, but the cost is too high. Sino nation could not afford to forge this kind of divine weapon in the past. One is equivalent to 5 or 6 weapons, and it does not have much combat strength. In the past, this was a waste of resources. With these resources, getting a few divine weapons and increasing the strength of powerhouses was the most important thing. Therefore, in the neo-martial era, these auxiliary divine weapons rarely appeared. It was not that they could not be refined, it was that they could not, and were not willing to. Weapons like the Hall of Myriad Origins were even less likely to be refined. The consumption was too high. Then let's refine it. Our speed is different, and floating in the air also consumes a lot of energy. This is Earth, not the catacombs. Earth's energy can supply middle and low-ranked recovery, but it's not enough for us. If we move on Earth, we must get one. Even if we're in the catacombs, we must move together. If we fly like this, we'll easily be separated and give the enemy an opportunity. Bei Gongyan said quickly. Then prepare the materials you need and let someone try to refine it. Me again? Fang Ping was speechless. The huge Heaven Division was so poor. If he did not throw money into it, the Heaven Division would go bankrupt. Old Zhang, that fellow, had allocated 1,000 caddies of energy stones to him to show the government's support. According to Old Zhang, he was living a good life now. Back when the 3 divisions and 4 houses were established, who had this kind of treatment? Old Zhang made it sound like Fang Ping was an unpardonable evil. Fang Ping did not talk about this. He did not expect the government to have much support anyway. He said quickly, I'll think of a way to gather it. There are still quite a lot of monster carcasses from last time. It's not difficult to get some demon cores. We have skeletons and whatnot. I'll ask Dean Liu to design it later. If we really want to refine it, we'll have to let Paragon do it. It's a pity we can't get Paragon's demon cores. Otherwise, if we install a Paragon energy cannon on the battleship, we can really suppress everything. Bei Gongyan could not help but laugh. Tian Mu asked, What about the cat? The Heaven Division attacked the cult headquarters. Tian Mu also knew some secrets and knew that the cult headquarters was related to the cat. Should he not bring the cat along now? Moreover, if they attacked the headquarters and took the bell, would the cat not leave? The cat? Fang Ping smiled bitterly. You didn't see it? It's behind us. Didn't you see those rank 6 martial artists carrying a Simmons cushion? The few of them were stunned. They did not notice it. They did not sense it either. The next moment, they turned around one after another. Behind them, a group of rank 6 martial artists gathered together, carrying a cushion. There seemed to be something on it. The few of them fixed their eyes on it. Who else could it be but the cat? The cat was lying on the cushion, half asleep, with a lot of snacks by its mouth. If it wanted to eat, it would open its mouth and take a bite. If it did not want to eat, it would close its eyes and sleep. This was the life of a cat. Flying? Was it not tired? It did not want to move at all. The swindler insisted on bringing it to see the bell, to see if it was the one that it had lost. After thinking about it again and again, the cat was still prepared to refuse. In the end, the swindler made it a small cat's nest and asked people to carry it there. The cat thought that as long as it was not asked to fly, it would not be a problem. Hence, it did not refuse and came along. This, Tian Mu's expression was strange. Is it appropriate? No one would see it if they carried a cat there in the face of a great battle. If they saw it, they would laugh themselves to death. The high fighting spirit and seething killing intent from before would probably be washed away in an instant. Those who don't know might think that we're clearing the way for this cat. Tian Mu was speechless. If this Simmons cushion was replaced with a small palace or a sedan chair, how would they be different from the cat's thugs? Fang Ping said helplessly. It's too lazy. It has to be like this. Next time, it'll be much better if it gets a warship. It won't be as ostentatious as it is now. With it around, there'll be a sense of security. Even if it doesn't fight, it can deter some of the old antiques here. Next time? Can you keep it? It'll be provided with good food and drinks. Is it better to go to the catacombs or here? The 9 grand elders from before either died or ran away. Even if the Grand Pope has trained some people, there won't be too many. 9 powerhouses comparable to Origin Dao, plus Li Hansong and the others who were rank 8 but could fight rank 9 powerhouses, plus the cat. With such strength, if they could not even take down the cult headquarters where the Grand Pope was not around, then the cult's strength was terrifyingly strong. As he said that, Fang Ping took a deep breath and said, "This time, it's the Heaven Division's first battle." Not only the powerhouses of the 33 heavens are paying attention, as long as the battle starts, the 5 sacred lands will also pay attention, even the catacombs will know. Therefore, this battle must be won beautifully. When we reach the place, there's only one word: kill. Everyone has the right to punish the cult martial artists, whether they have harmed humans before or not, it's the same. Tian Mu was speechless. Kid, you don't have to say this. When the battle starts, there's only the difference between friend and foe, there's no such thing as innocent or not. After fighting on the battlefield for many years, he had long gotten used to it. In the beginning, for the sake of war, he had led many troops to besiege some villages and towns, some small cities, killing countless people. Did everyone deserve to die? Some of the weaker ones did not even know who they were. However, when the battle started, who would have the time to distinguish these? Victory or defeat was the people's suffering. If Earth had not set up the battlefront in the catacombs, after all these years, Earth might have been destroyed. Then kill! Fan Ping did not say much, his tone returning to seriousness. The cult martial artist's strength should not be too strong. Even if the Grand Pope has been training for many years, at most, it's on the scale of the 33 heavens. Use the cult as a sacrifice, to celebrate the establishment of our heaven division. All right. Everyone's murderous intent was boiling. Destroy the cult first, then conquer the heavens, eliminate the internal hidden dangers. The next step should be to go to the catacombs. At the same time, Fang Ping and the others set off. Ancient Buddha's sacred land. In an incomparably huge golden temple. The basilica. Above, a skinny bald old man wearing a kasaya said slowly in an ancient tone with a hoarse voice, "Venerable Martial King, since you're here, why don't you show yourself?" Silence. The old man held the prayer beads in his hand, murmuring softly for a while. After a while, he looked at the crowd below, saying slowly, "Go, welcome the distinguished guests. The 6 sacred land are like brothers. Sino Nation's young martial artists are famous in the Devil's Denver. You can also learn from them." Below, a few young powerhouses led by Bucho Yi responded one after another. Beside the crowd, Toaman said nothing. Above, the old man looked at Toaman, saying slowly, "Toaman, go too." Toaman bowed slightly. "Respect the will of the ancient Buddha. Conflict must not occur." The skinny ancient Buddha still said one sentence. Toaman's ancestor was ancient Buddha Yaoguang. Toaman's grandfather was the cult's second elder, Varna. Ancient Buddha Yaoguang's lineage was one of the 8 major lineages of the ancient Buddha's sacred land. There were still many descendants. Previously, when Varna's identity was exposed and he died in Sino Nation, the ancient Buddha's sacred land also directly denied Varna's identity. If that was the case, then the lineage of ancient Buddha Yaoguang could not be touched. Toaman was not affected too much, but he was marginalized. During the youth tournament, Toaman was the number 1 of the ancient Buddha's sacred land's youth generation. He had long entered rank 7, but now his status was far inferior to Bucho Yi. The youths below quickly got up and walked out one after another. After they left, an old man of what rank said softly, "Ancient Buddha, is it appropriate to let Toaman meet Fang Ping?" Varna died in the battle to encircle Fang Ping. Previously, in the youth tournament, Fang Ping had also dealt a ruthless blow to Toaman, smashing his limbs into pieces. Now that Toaman was asked to go, this person did not know what the ancient Buddha meant. Above, the skinny old monk said slowly, "This trip is also to resolve the grudge. Sino Nation's Fang Ping is now leading the Heaven Division. Marshal King and the others intend to train Fang Ping to become the next leader. Sino Nation's Heaven Division cannot be underestimated. Although it has just been established, its strength is not weak. The 6 great holy lands now do not live up to their name. If they really want to be counted, it should be the 7 great holy lands. The Sino Nation government can also become a holy land on its own, and its strength is not weak. Previously, Marshal King fought against many and killed a true king powerhouse. Pluto King achieved the 2nd Great Tao, Spear King and the others have advanced to the impasse realm. The old monk said a few words and lamented. Sino Nation nurtures war through war, becoming stronger the more they fight. Now, the situation has been reversed. Next, there may be a large-scale battle in the Devil's Den. We still need to make friends with the Sino Nation's young powerhouses. After the old monk finished speaking, he continued to silently recite the scriptures. After a moment he said again, "This time, old people do not need to leave the Holy Land. Marshal King will supervise outside the Holy Land to prevent Marshal King from misunderstanding." Ancient Buddha. In the main hall, someone was dissatisfied and said angrily, "Marshal King supervising the Holy Land, this is extremely inappropriate." The skinny old monk glanced at the crowd and slowly said, "Among the 6 holy lands, Stellar Sky City was originally the leader. Now that King Wu and Stellar Sky City have reached an agreement, the subduing Heavenly King has transferred everything in Stellar Sky City to King Wu. The other holy lands, Andes Mountain, Totem City, previously each had a peerless demon fall, their strength greatly reduced. The God's Paradise cannot bear the heavy responsibility of resisting the Devil's Denver. Only Sino Nation has this strength. Since Marshal King is here, he has no choice but to do so." When the old monk said this, he was also filled with emotion. It was a pity that our ancient Buddha Holy Land did not have a person like Marshal King. However, ancient Buddha Yao Guang had fallen, and now, the person who inherited the path of Yao Guang was about to achieve the position of ancient Buddha. In this way, the ancient Buddha Holy Land was still extremely powerful. They just lacked a powerhouse who could suppress the heavens. If there was, the ancient Buddha Holy Land would not have to be afraid of people like Marshal King. Now, Marshal King was supervising outside the Holy Land. He also felt that no one could do anything to him. These powerhouses of Sino Nation were getting stronger as they fought. Perhaps in these years, the ancient Buddha Holy Land's defensive stance should also change. The Himalayas. The highest peak on earth was in this mountain range. When they arrived near the Himalayas, Su Bing, who had been silent, suddenly said, "There seems to be a Grand Master here in the past." Fan Ping looked sideways and frowned. "The 4 Grand Masters you mentioned, I don't think this place has mentioned it before, right?" Su Bing explained, "I didn't remember it before, and I have never been here before. However, seeing this mountain range, I have a vague impression of it. In the past, there seemed to be a Wuji cloud vow here, but I am not sure whether it is here or not." Beside him, Tiao Kui thought for a while and said, "It should be here. The Wuji cloud vow is under the jurisdiction of Empress Wu Mo. In the past, there were not many empresses, so I have some impression." "Wu Mo." Fang Ping repeated, smiling. "There seems to be this person in the myths, but it mainly originated from Buddhism, slightly different from Taoism's 33 heavens. Now it seems that the distinction between Buddhism and Taoism was not too obvious." Su Bing shook his head. "In the past, there was no such thing as Buddhism and Taoism." "The Wuji cloud vow?" Fan Ping looked around, smiling. "That's good too, there's a Grand Master here, not bad. I'm just a little curious, is the High Pope Empress Wu Mo? The cult's headquarters seem to be nearby. Since there was a Grand Master here, did it mean that the High Pope came from the Wuji cloud vow? Or was it someone else?" Without thinking too deeply, Fan Ping looked at the cat and said, "Did you sense the location of your bell?" Behind him, the cat lay on the mattress, saying lazily, "Liar, next time let that little fatty brush my fur, I've been itching a little lately." Fan Ping was speechless. "I'm asking about serious matters. You're considering letting Warlord brush your fur?" So, brushing your fur is the serious matter in your eyes? Come to think of it, in this cat's eyes, these were probably the important matters. Fang Ping said perfunctorily. Okay, but little Fatty is old now, he's old. Next time I'll let little Fatty brush your fur, he's that little Fatty's descendant. Oh, that works too. The cat had no objections, saying quickly. The bell is right in front. As he said that, the cat's paw pointed ahead. Fang Ping fixed his gaze. That was already the central area of the mountain range. So it was hiding here. No wonder the cult's headquarters was so secretive. This place was cold and frozen, uninhabited all year round. Moving around here, the chances of being exposed were also the lowest. Fang Ping took a deep breath. This was the Heaven Division's first operation, he had to be more reliable. As he thought about it, Fang Ping turned his head to look at the crowd, reminding them again. All high-ranked martial artists, your opponents are all high-ranked. Don't let anyone slip through the net. Rank 6 martial artists are mainly responsible for killing middle and low-ranked martial artists, capturing some important figures. Also, remember, clearing the spoils of war, sealing some materials, some documents, these are all your missions. This time, you must uproot the cult. All the cult's branches and branches around the world must be found. I'll repeat this one last time. Fang Ping's voice grew louder, saying sternly. You're not allowed to hide any spoils of war. Distribute them uniformly, according to merit. All Sino Nation martial artists have experience in this area. Everyone from Black Light Sect, remember this. If you're discovered, don't blame me for being ruthless. As soon as he said that, Su Bing's expression was indifferent, saying, People from Black Light Sect don't care about these. Fang Ping was underestimating them too much. Fang Ping, on the other hand, did not care. I'll say the unpleasant things first, lest these people fight among themselves for the spoils of war later. That would be troublesome. As soon as he finished speaking, Fang Ping quickly flew in the direction pointed by the cat. Before he reached the place, Fang Ping's gaze flickered slightly. From afar, a group of people came using flight step. The one leading them was his acquaintance, Bucho Yi. Back then, Bucho Yi was at Mentality Vitality Unity. Now, he was also at middle stage rank 7. This speed was not considered slow, instead, it was extremely fast. Tumen, who was behind Bucho Yi, was also only at middle stage rank 7. At that time, Tumen was already at early stage rank 7. When he was at rank 6, Bucho Yi had a head of long, messy hair. When he reached rank 7, he shaved his head. At this moment, Bucho Yi stopped about 1,000 meters away. Looking at Fang Ping from afar, he saw Fang Ping standing at the forefront of the crowd with a few rank 9 martial artists beside him. Bucho Yi's expression was complicated. He put his palms together and bowed in the air, saying, Greetings, Minister Fang. Bucho Yi, you're still alive! Fang Ping chuckled. Previously on the trip to the Imperial Battleground, I heard that someone had fallen. I thought you died there. Minister Fang, you're already the honorable leader of a department now. Why are you still brooding over what happened in the past? Bucho Yi knew the reason why Fang Ping was not courteous to him. Back then, during the youth competition, he had killed Sino Nation martial artists. However, that was the case during the youth competition. Fang Ping had also killed people from other holy lands. Upon hearing that, Fang Ping smiled faintly. Maybe I'm being petty. However, since we're all heading in the same direction, I don't want to say anything else. This time, the ancient Buddha sacred land sent you here. Is there a reason? To see if your department needs any help. Fang Ping glanced at the other party and smiled. All right. Since you guys have this intention, how about defending the periphery? Bucho Yi gave him a look and said deeply, We don't need to participate in the battle? Minister Fang, the people from the 6 holy lands can all fight. Thank you for your kind intentions. Fang Ping laughed and said, However, we really don't need your help. This time, the Heaven Division is also breaking in. It's enough for you guys to defend the periphery. Then we'll do as Minister Fang says. Bucho Yi did not say much. Fang Ping, however, glanced at To Man behind him. This person's grandfather was the evil sect's second elder. Could he be related to the evil sect? However, Tua Man was only a middle stage rank 7. He could not stir up any trouble. Even so, Fang Ping still reminded everyone telepathically. The ancient Buddha's sacred land still had to defend against what needed to be defended. He was transmitting his voice. In the distance, Bucho Yi and the others were also transmitting their voices. Fang Ping from Sino is improving too fast. I heard that he can fight a rank 9. Previously, he even ordered the Devil's Den to put him on the wanted list of all territories. These days, he has been active in Sino. We don't know how strong he is exactly. Maybe we can see it this time. The youth competition was actually not that long ago. It was held in June 2010. It was now the end of January 11th. It had only been half a year. From rank 6, Fang Ping could fight a rank 9 now. When the news came, those who knew Fang Ping found it hard to believe. At one point, they thought that Sino Nation only needed to bring out a young powerhouse who could suppress everyone else. Sino Nation was creating a god themselves. However, this time, Fang Ping had become the Heaven Division's deputy minister, the direct leader. Bucho Yi and the others felt that no matter how much Sino Nation flattered them, they would not joke around with the division. In the crowd, someone telepathically said, "You'll know when you see it." Also, is the evil sect really here when the Heaven Division came this time? Regarding the Heaven Division wanting to annihilate the evil sect, this matter was not mentioned in detail. However, when Sino Nation martial artists crossed the border, they still had to greet them. Yesterday, the Sino Nation government had sent a letter, and yesterday, King Wu had started to monitor the ancient Buddha's sacred land. I don't know, but since Sino Nation is making such a big fuss, maybe they are really here. Bucho Yi said in a low voice. You'll know when you see it. Everyone did not say anything else. Bucho Yi, on the other hand, looked at Tua Man. This time, the ancient Buddha had asked Tua Man to come out as well. It might have nothing to do with the evil sect. Could it be that the ancient Buddha's sacred land had really been infiltrated by the evil sect? Who was the Grand Pope? Could it be one of the 7 ancient Buddhas that existed today? Bucho Yi dared not think too deeply. If that was really the case, he was afraid that there would be chaos next. He hoped that was not the case. Chapter 880. It's here! Soon, they arrived at a snow-covered valley. There was a river in the valley. The Himalayas were the source of many large rivers. Any life form could not live without a water source before reaching rank 8. Fang Ping looked around and sensed, shaking his head. I can't sense it. At this time, everyone carried the cat forward. The cat looked around lazily and pointed at the river with its paw, saying lazily, It's down there. The bell is blocking it. Brother Cat, can you take back the bell? Sure. The cat said nothing. Fang Ping looked at it. Take it. The cat looked at Fang Ping too. After a while, the cat said innocently, It's so dirty. They buried my bell in the mud. I don't want it anymore. Fang Ping almost vomited blood. This is why you don't want it. Don't forget, most of your divine weapons were picked up from the graveyard. I've never seen you despise them. Brother Cat, take it back first. I'll get someone to clean it for you later. All right then. The cat had no objections when it heard that someone was going to help it clean it. Soon it said, Bell, come back, come back. Fang Ping did not know if it was a spell, or if it was just saying it casually. It was most likely just saying it casually. However, as the cat spoke, the earth trembled. The Grand Canyon began to shake, as if it was going to collapse. Who's there? Enemy attack! Suddenly, a roar came from the river. In the next moment, a few powerful auras suddenly rose from the surface of the river, which he had not sensed before. At the same time, a huge bronze bell that seemed to be able to cover the sky rose slowly from the river. It was too big. At a glance, the area at the bottom was at least a few hundred acres. Was this the bell the cat was talking about? Although Fang Ping was shocked, he could not care less. The moment the bell rose, he could already feel the aura of a large number of martial artists. A few hundred acres of land with a lot of people hidden. At least 1,000 auras. As expected, this was the cult's headquarters. A bunch of rats. They'd finally shown up! Everyone, kill the enemy! Fang Ping took the lead. He lifted his saber and broke through the air, heading straight for the sky above the lake. At this moment, several figures appeared in the sky. Who are you? Fear flashed through the eyes of the experts that were rising into the sky as they shouted. The headquarters of the divine sect had been discovered. More importantly, the invincible sky curtain of defense had actually been broken. In their eyes, the bell was an invincible defensive barrier. Even if a peerless expert came, they might not be able to break it. Some of their level 9 experts had tried to bombard it, but they could not break the bell at all. Underground, there was a supreme barrier laid down by the great Pope. Inside the bell, they were the safest. But today, the sky curtain, which they regarded as the safest line of defense, suddenly rose into the sky. The headquarters was about to be exposed. At this moment, the bell flew up and the river flowed backward. In the river, some experts made their moves. Their spiritual energy swept out, causing the river water to be lifted up and evaporated. The original river disappeared, revealing a circular area. The buildings inside were complete, and they were actually modern. A Chinese martial artist! At this moment, an expert shouted loudly, "Scatter and run!" These people's reactions were also extremely fast. When they sensed the auras of countless experts, some of them did not say anything and immediately fled. Run? At this moment, Tian Mu punched through the air, blasting a rank 7 powerhouse's flesh into pieces. He roared, "Kill! Kill!" A chorus of roars rang out. Close to 100 high-ranked powerhouses charged in from all directions. At this time, Fang Ping in front was already fighting with a rank 9 powerhouse. With a slash, the other party was sent flying backward. Fang Ping! The rank 9 powerhouse who was fighting with him seemed to recognize Fang Ping. He roared, "Fang Ping, do you really want to be an enemy of the divine sect? Ridiculous!" Fang Ping laughed loudly. His figure was like a phantom, suddenly breaking through the air and slashing a rank 7 martial artist in half with one slash. Looking at the rank 9 from afar, he looked around and laughed loudly. "Only 4 rank 9s? The great Pope, that useless piece of trash, actually hid such a trump card after so many years?" At this moment, the 4 evil sect rank 9s gathered together. They looked at Fang Ping. In front, a middle-aged powerhouse shouted angrily, "Fang Ping, the divine sect has withdrawn from Sino Nation. The martial artists who tried to kill you in the past are all dead. Everyone just has a different ideology. Do you want to kill them all?" At this time, everyone's hearts were palpitating. A lot of people came from Sino Nation. There were close to 100 high-ranked ones. There were even 2 rank 9 monsters. One was currently sealing the area in the air, and the other had actually burrowed into the ground. Although it had not appeared yet, they could already sense the rank 9 monster's chi. Sino Nation had actually subdued a rank 9 monster. The leader shouted quickly, "Fang Ping, do you want to fight to the death? The divine sect powerhouses are all here. Once we fight, don't think you'll have it easy. Even if we can't win, we'll still bite a piece of you. 4 rank 9s, 8 rank 8s, more than 10 rank 7s. This was the strength of the evil sect headquarters. Very strong. Close to 30 high-ranked powerhouses was already extremely rare. Not to mention the 9 high elders from before, including the many fallen high-ranked ones, there were close to 100 evil sect high-ranked powerhouses in total. A number like this was already extremely high. Fang Ping ignored the person. He looked at Su Bing and said in a low voice, "Old Su, are there any acquaintances?" The big Pope was most likely an old antique. Among the rank 9s here today, were there rank 9s from that era? Su Bing glanced at the 4 rank 9s opposite him, 3 men and 1 woman. After looking for a while, he suddenly said, "I'm not familiar, but there seems to be some shadow of the god and devil period." As soon as he said that, the middle-aged man opposite him suddenly shouted, "Who are you? Su Bing of Xian Ming Ming! Bastard!" The middle-aged man roared angrily, his voice cold and harsh. He bellowed, "How dare the Grand Masters surrender to human martial artists? You all deserve to die! You're the ones who deserve to die!" Fang Ping rebuked angrily. He suddenly charged out, shouting, "Kill the others and capture this person alive!" This middle-aged man was from the apotheosis period. Void piercing! This time, Fang Ping's strength erupted to the extreme. With a slash, the void shattered, and cracks appeared. A huge space battlefield appeared abruptly. At this time, the others attacked one after another. This time, it was no longer an independent space battlefield. Just like the Battle of the Pinnacle that day, in the void, a huge black crack appeared, and a complete space battlefield enveloped everyone. In this short moment, mountains collapsed and the ground cracked in the periphery. The snow mountain collapsed. In the blink of an eye, many high-ranked powerhouses entered the space rift one after another. Some evil sect rank 7s were swept in, and as soon as they entered, they were strangled on the spot. Seeing this, the middle-aged man shouted, "Those below Golden Body cannot enter!" The space battlefield was not a place that anyone could enter. In the catacombs battlefield, even rank 9s could not enter. In the human battlefield, without a golden body, once they entered, they would be strangled by the cracks at the mouth of the rift. As soon as he finished speaking, the middle-aged man roared. His body suddenly expanded, becoming more than 10 meters tall. A huge charm now appeared in his hand, and he said sternly, "You all really want to kill us all? You talk too much!" Fang Ping slashed out the space battlefield earlier. At this moment, he directly unleashed his golden body, vitality rising. Above his head, a vitality light beam pierced through the void, even condensing into an illusion in the air. Just like the illusion condensed in the pinnacle that day, standing proudly in the void, vitality surging. "Kill!" The sound of killing rose in the blink of an eye. In the space battlefield, the rank 9s began to fight one after another. Some rank 8 powerhouses also rushed into the battlefield, killing rapidly. Outside the rift, dozens of rank 17 powerhouses began to surround and kill the evil sect rank 7s who were fleeing in all directions. At the bottom of the lake, some middle and low-ranked martial artists also began to run for their lives, terrified. Seeing this, Zhang Yu, CLA, and a few other MCMAU's top-rank SIXS saw the situation, their eyes glinting fiercely. Holding weapons, they rushed over quickly. Bringing the middle-ranked martial artists to participate in the battle was hoping that these people could break through in the battle and become Grandmaster powerhouses. Everyone understood what Fang Ping meant. The Heaven Division rank SIXS were not too far away from rank 7. In this kind of situation, it was not impossible to break through the realm directly when they were bathed in blood and killing, the accumulation of invincible momentum, unity of essence, spirit, and soul. Everyone did not waste any time, and in the blink of an eye, they were fighting together. "Ah!" Screams rose instantly. Some evil sect martial artists roared fiercely. "Self-destruct! We have no way out! Kill them! Perish together! The High Pope will save us! As long as the divine sect is not destroyed, the dead will come back to life!" Some people roared furiously, their eyes bloodshot. In the blink of an eye, a few middle-ranked martial artists went crazy, rushing to the front, and self-destructed on the spot with a loud bang. In the crowd, Su Bing had already been swept into the space battlefield. But Zhu Suo did not. At this moment, Zhu Suo, who was just about to enter the battlefield, saw this scene and frowned slightly. The human world had indeed become a purgatory. They were all lunatics. The evil sect people were lunatics, and so were the others. Self-destruction seemed to have become a common occurrence. In the past, unless it was the last moment of life, otherwise, even ants would try to live, let alone these martial artists. As he was thinking, in the rift, Fang Ping and Old Manly roared. A saber and a sword directly pierced through a rank 9, dismembering one of them on the spot. The divine sect lives forever! Even though this person was dismembered on the spot, he still shouted fiercely, mentality condensing in an instant. In the blink of an eye, a loud bang was heard. The black rift trembled for a moment, but quickly returned to normal. That middle-aged man, on the other hand, took this opportunity to send Qingqi flying with a saber, leaping out of the rift in the blink of an eye. Outside the rift, Ju So glanced at him. The other party also saw Ju So shouting, "Bone-melting saint, are you going to stop me?" Ju So was stunned. In this instant, the other party broke through the air, fleeing toward the periphery directly. In the air, the phoenix spirit flapped its wings, as if hesitating, not attacking. At this moment, Fang Ping's cold voice was heard. "As expected, only our own people can be trusted." Outside, Ju So, the phoenix spirit, and the gopher were all there. However, the middle-aged man escaped, and none of the 3 rank 9s attacked. Although he had expected this, Fang Ping was still disappointed. These people could only be used, never trusted. "Want to run? Ask me. Fang Ping, do you really think you can defeat me?" Just as the middle-aged man was about to escape, Fang Ping's combat boots flashed with golden light, already blocking in front of him. "If you run, you will die. Surrender, and I'll give you a chance to live." Arrogant! Before the other party finished speaking, Fang Ping's saber had already slashed through the void. Li Jin's void-piercing sword technique might not be suitable for Fang Ping, but the core of Li Jin's sword technique was still killing. With enough killing intent, it could also unleash some of its power. The other party was also holding a broadsword. With a roar, he quickly engaged Fang Ping in close combat. The other party was also a powerhouse of the origin path. As the two of them fought, black rifts appeared, rapidly cutting both of their golden bodies. This time, both of them did not enter the space battlefield again. Fang Ping shouted, "Gopher, protect the people below, or else I'll send you to hell." It was fine if the two monsters were unwilling to fight a rank 9, but if they dared to be perfunctory, Fang Ping decided to kill them directly to make divine weapons. As soon as he said that, below, a large rat squeaked, quickly releasing mentality, blocking the aftermath of the fight between the two. In the air, the phoenix spirit flapped its wings, knocking some of the escaping martial artists back one after another. Seeing this, Ju So did not attack, staring at the middle-aged martial artist. The other party knew her. She rarely left Mystic Heaven. Of course, a rank 9 powerhouse, even in that era, was not dispensable. If the other party was well informed, it was not surprising that he knew her. However, he recognized her at a glance. Maybe they had met before. "Who is it?" Ju So was deep in thought. At the same time, outside, Butoya's gaze was solemn, shocked. "So powerful! Fang Ping can actually fight with an origin path." Not only did the other party not fall into a disadvantage when fighting with an origin path powerhouse, but he also had the upper hand. This kind of ability was even stronger than what they expected. Stronger than what the rumors said. It was not just Butoya. At the moment when the battle between both sides broke out, there were some unusual movements everywhere. In the ancient Buddha Holy Land, the old monks seemed to be watching the battle, deep in thought. In other places, some rank 9 powerhouses sensed the movement of the battle. Some of them used flight step and came over directly. Some of them also released their mentality and began to investigate. It was not far from where they were fighting. In the void, a faint crack appeared. A weak wave of mentality probed out. Just as this weak wave of mentality probed out, another even weaker wave of mentality penetrated through the crack. High up in the sky, in a crack, Zhang Tao's eyes were cold. He said lightly, "Another Grand Master! How dare you! How dare you show yourself at this time?" Beside him, Li Jin said, "How's their ability? These so-called emperors don't seem that strong. They are about the same as Mystic Heaven. Their vitality should be around 800,000 calories. Have they not recovered from their injuries? It's possible. Of course, it's also possible that they are separated by space. I can't see clearly, Zhang Tao said in a low voice. Let's not care about this for now. Let's see what they do. This is good. Let them wake up. Otherwise, I'm really worried that these people won't wake up when the time comes. They won't know what happened and we won't be able to fish them out. Li Jin looked at him and said, You let Heaven Division fight everywhere. Are you also hoping that they can attract the attention of these old antiques and wake up from their slumber? Part of the reason. What if there are still places that we haven't discovered? At that time, if we really leave and an Emperor-level master appears and sweeps through our rear, then the gains will not make up for the losses. No worries. I'm prepared, Zhang Tao said and looked at the cat below. He smiled and said, What do you think about keeping it? It's not reliable, Li Jin said bluntly. If they kept an unreliable cat, if a powerhouse attacked, the cat might not help. If that happened, it would be a huge problem. Look again. If it doesn't work, I'll think of a way to keep you here. As he spoke, Zhang Tao suddenly looked at the giant bell in the distance. His eyes flickered. It's very powerful. If we use this to block the crack, it might work. But we need to modify it a little. That's that cat's, Li Jin reminded. Zhang Tao smiled. Buy it. I'll buy it with 10,000 bags of cat food. Do you think it's possible? Li Jin wanted to say that it was not possible, but on second thought, that might not be the case. Without dwelling on this, Li Jin quickly said, Does the Pope have any clues? He didn't appear. It's very likely that he has left Earth or is hiding in sky beyond heaven. The people here might not know anything. Otherwise, he wouldn't have given up so easily. What is the Pope trying to do? It's reasonable to say that he sacrificed all living beings to open the passage. But at this time, there is no need for that. But he still did not disband the cult and continues to be active. What is his goal? Zhang Tao pondered for a moment. He said slowly, Who knows? These people are very active now. It might be related to the impending destruction of the heavenly realm, but they might also have other goals. Zhang Tao said and thought for a moment. He said in a low voice, I'm actually thinking about a problem. Who spread the news that chaos will happen in this era? That these powerhouses have all chosen to sleep? In my opinion, even if they are heavily injured, there is no reason for them to wake up at this time. On the contrary, it's not right for them to wake up at this time. Did someone injure them to the point where they have no choice but to wake up now? Or did someone tell them that waking up now is the best time? 1,000 years ago, they were about to wake up. Li Jin added. But they still failed. Unquestionable sword took action and delayed them from appearing 1,000 years ago to this era. I'm still thinking, why did unquestionable sword do this? Is he certain that someone in this era can solve all of this? They're all waiting, Zhang Tao said with a deep gaze. They're all waiting. Waiting for what? Everyone is waiting for an opportunity. I don't think it's the so-called opportunity to become an emperor. They're waiting. Is the emperor really dead? Are they also waiting? Such a scheme to gather everyone in this era, I feel that it's more like the emperor's doing. If they weren't emperors, would these so-called great emperors have the ability to do so? The emperor doesn't appear. He disappeared. He disappeared for nearly 10,000 years. Then in these 10,000 years, the emperor didn't appear. Who is maintaining this balance? Who is secretly making the situation develop according to what they want it to develop? There's also a large hand that covers everything and controls everything. And your ancestor, Heavenly King Subduing, might be one of the people responsible for maintaining the balance. Li Jin's heart stirred. He said in a low voice, You mean that the ancestor is actually the emperor's doing? To maintain the situation develop according to their needs? Isn't it? Have you forgotten why humans could survive in the Jinqing era? Without Heavenly King Subduing, could humans really resist the catacombs then? Not to mention then, even now, if not for Heavenly King Subduing's deterrence to the catacombs, I'm afraid a war would have broken out long ago. Zhang Tao chuckled. So, Heavenly King Subduing is very likely a balancer. balancing the strength of the catacombs and humans, making the catacombs unable to attack the human world on a large scale, making the powerhouses wary. Humans have such balancers, and I suspect the catacombs have them too. I'm actually thinking. Is King Qian also a balancer? You know, King Qian has never appeared. It's said that he once fought with heavenly kings subduing. In the end, he seemed to be slightly weaker, but they were evenly matched. In the end, he disappeared and has not appeared for many years. If he really wanted to tangle with heavenly kings subduing, perhaps the war between the two worlds would have broken out that year. But he didn't. What kind of role did this person play? Balancer, Li Jun said with a headache. According to what you said, unquestionable sword might be one too. Maybe 1,000 years ago, it wasn't a time of great chaos, but it was about to break out, so unquestionable sword made a move and balanced the situation. That's possible, but I think unquestionable sword still fell for it. Maybe his original intention was to overturn the chessboard, but in the end, he still fell into someone else's trap. Maybe him killing powerhouses from all sides was what the people in the dark wanted to see. Some unstable factors were eliminated, and time was delayed until now, and now is the era that everyone wants to see. Li Jun frowned and said, Who can do all this? If it's a sovereign, why would they do all this? What are they trying to do? Zhang Tao said self-deprecatingly. I don't know about this. Also, I'm thinking about something. Could Li Zhu be one of them? What? Didn't you notice that Li Zhu is also balancing? Zhang Tao said lightly. He is also balancing the forces of all sides. He is weakening the forces of all sides. He might also be one of the balancers that I mentioned. Li Jun's headache grew. After a long time, he said, Ignore them, we can't do anything about it. Zhang Tao nodded quietly. Yes, they could not do anything about it. The balancers that he guessed, did they really exist? Heavenly Kings subduing and the others, why did they insist on delaying time until now? What were they waiting for? Were they waiting for people or things? Was it a coincidence that Wang Jinyang and the others appeared one after another in this life, or was it inevitable? What's the opportunity for your revival? Zhang Tao looked down, deep in thought. Kill! The sounds of killing intensified. Tian Mu punched a rank 9 powerhouse until his golden body cracked. Bai Gongyan charged, spear in hand, and pierced the other party's skull. On the other side, Su Bing, Old Manly, and Qing Qi joined forces to kill a Origin's powerhouse, but the other party's golden body was also shattered, and he roared continuously. Outside the battlefield, Fan Ping and the middle-aged martial artist were fighting in close combat. Both of their bodies were broken, and the more they fought, the fiercer it became. Even further down, Chen Yinqi and the others were bathed in blood, killing until blood flowed like a river. Almost 1,000 evil sect martial artists were killed, and more than half were killed. At this moment, corpses were everywhere. Still not surrendering? Fan Ping let out a cold roar, chopping off the other party's arm with one slash, letting the other party slash his head. Golden light flickered for a while, and the skull injury healed rapidly. Surrender, tell me everything, and I'll spare your life. Wishful thinking! The middle-aged martial artist bellowed, turning his head, about to break through the air and leave. In the air, a crack appeared, and the other party appeared a few hundred meters away in the blink of an eye. The magical effect of Origin's Tao. He had just appeared a few hundred meters away when Fan Ping caught up with him in the blink of an eye. Stubborn fool! Fan Ping let out a low roar, one hand clawing through space, his palms separated from his body. In the blink of an eye, he grabbed the other party's throat. A crisp crack. He crushed the other party's throat directly. The middle-aged martial artist's expression changed drastically. His saber slashed down, turning Fan Ping's palm into a bloody mess. His injury recovered in the blink of an eye, though. At this moment, a golden house came crashing down. This time, it was not a cover, but a direct suppression. Thunder rumbled, and cracks appeared in space from the impact. The middle-aged man raised his saber and was about to slash. At this moment, his eyes moved suddenly, and in the blink of an eye, he broke through space, heading straight for the crowd below. Fang Ping's eyes were cold, and he chased after him quickly. The golden house appeared in the other party's path in the blink of an eye. However, the other party broke through space again and again, avoiding the golden house. "Who do you want to kill?" Fang Ping asked suddenly. The middle-aged man sneered, breaking through the obstruction in the blink of an eye, heading straight for the rank 6 martial artists. His target: Chen Yunqi. Fang Ping's gaze was cold and fierce. He did not ask any more, roaring, "Gophers!" Below, the gophers squeaked, but there was nothing they could do. They broke through space, blocking the other party. "Who told you to kill her?" Fang Ping appeared in front of him quickly, his gaze unfriendly. "Did you receive an order from the Pope?" "Who is the Pope?" "He seems to know me very well." The middle-aged man did not say a word, fighting the gophers with all his might. "You've angered me. I wanted to spare your life, but now, you're going to die." At this moment, the original golden house suddenly changed. In the blink of an eye, a golden great sword appeared. The Chandao in Fang Ping's hand absorbed the golden great sword instantly, turning golden. "Destroy!" A loud roar mixed with a powerful mentality bombardment. Countless imperishable substances exploded, scaring the gophers into running away. The middle-aged man's expression changed drastically. Just as he was about to escape, he suddenly realized that the surrounding space was fixed and locked. "Impossible! Idiot!" Fang Ping sneered. "Do you really think that I've only learned a little about the void-piercing swordsmanship during these few days of closed-door cultivation? Die!" The other party raised his saber to block, but the golden light on Fang Ping's body was blinding like the next day, illuminating the entire mountain range in a golden color. Rumble! An explosion sounded, and the other party's Chandao was shattered. A scream was heard, and in the blink of an eye, the golden body was shattered. A powerful mentality was just about to escape when the golden house appeared again, covering the other party. Rumble! The mentality crashed into the golden house, trying to escape, but Fang Ping sneered. "Try self-destructing. If you don't, I'll let you taste the pain of having your mentality burned." "The Pope? Maybe I know him. I'd like to see who can hide from me." In the golden house, the mentality was still crashing. The middle-aged man's appearance appeared, his face pale and desperate. He continued to crash into the golden house, trying to escape. This was the first time Fang Ping captured a rank 9 powerhouse's mentality alive. Fang Ping ignored him, turning his head to look at the rope, a ferocious smile on his face. Even when the middle-aged man was attacking rank 6 below, the rope did not budge. Although he did not expect this old witch to kill the enemy, she was completely indifferent. Just wait and see. He, Fang Ping, was not someone with a big heart. The rope felt a chill run down its spine when he stared at it. This person was so strong. He seemed even stronger than before. "Kill them all! Don't leave any alive!" Fang Ping suddenly shouted. There was no need to leave any alive. Among everyone present, perhaps only this middle-aged man knew something. As soon as his voice fell, Zhang Yu and the rest, who had captured a large number of evil sect martial artists below, exchanged glances. Suddenly, their expressions turned grim, and they attacked one after another, killing the martial artists who surrendered on the spot. "Fang Ping!" In the golden house, the middle-aged man saw this too. He screamed shrilly. "If you do this, you'll be punished by heaven! Idiot! Heaven? Is there still a heaven in this world? We are our own heaven!" Following his words, in the space battlefield, Old Manly killed a rank 9 completely with 3 consecutive slashes. Tian Mu also let out a low roar, throwing a few punches, blowing up the last rank 9 golden body. The few of them had no intention of leaving any survivors. They attacked one after another, annihilating the other party's mentality. When the few evil sect rank 8 powerhouses saw this scene, their faces were filled with despair. In the blink of an eye, the sound of self-destruction rang throughout the space battlefield. The divine sect is not destroyed, reborn from the ashes. His crazed voice reverberated throughout the entire space. Fang Ping sneered. Rank 8 and 9 are so easily bewitched. Their deaths are not to be regretted. Reborn from the ashes? Even if they're reborn, they're still useless. Everyone attack, kill all the evil sect members. Wipe out the evil sect. As soon as he finished speaking, Fang Ping roared. Grand Pope, you're only fit to be a rat. No, you're worse than a rat. Before he could finish, someone said with a faint smile. Stronger than a rat. Faster than a rat. We didn't catch him. It'll happen sooner or later. Don't worry. I'm not worried. Fang Ping chuckled, turning his gaze to the wildcat. The wildcat shuddered. Don't look at me. I didn't see anything. I just sensed something. Don't ask me. It's useless even if you ask. Fang Ping burst out laughing again. Looking at the corpses strewn all over the ground, he muttered to himself. Chapter 881. The great battle came to an end quickly. The people below began to count the spoils of war. Fang Ping stepped on the blood-red ground. Now that it was mixed with the river water, the blood spread even wider, dyeing the surrounding area red. In the distance, the mountains collapsed and the ground cracked. The avalanche was still spreading. Casually grabbing a blood-stained document in his hand, Fang Ping swept a glance at it. He looked at the spirit entity that was still colliding in the House of Gold. He said mildly, "You've done a good job with your charity work. You've even opened orphanages all over the world. Honestly speaking, you've been wronged if I call you a cult." The middle-aged man continued to collide. He did not reply or self-destruct. This kind of person was more afraid of death than the average person unless it was a matter of life and death. Fang Ping did not say much. He threw the document to Bei Gonghai and said, "Inform the various governments. Try to be as safe as possible and eliminate all these people. Don't force the Heavenly Department to enforce the law across borders." Fang Ping knew the evil sect's purpose of opening an orphanage. Fang Ping continued to search while saying, "The evil sect has been around for many years and has trained many people. Now it seems that some of them have infiltrated some of the core ranks. Hand over the list of core ranks and I'll consider torturing you less. Dream on. You're asking for it." Fang Ping did not say much. In the Golden House, his mentality suddenly turned into mentality fire, burning the middle-aged martial artist's spirit. "Ah!" A scream rang out instantly. Fang Ping grinned hideously. He suddenly looked at the people around him and said, "Do I look like a villain?" Zhang Yu smiled as he packed his things. "A little. Usually, villains will be turned around at this time. When powerhouses come to help, they'll beat me up. I just want to know now. Do those hidden powerhouses dare to come?" Fang Ping suddenly laughed heartily. "I'm right here. Dare to come? A bunch of old and immortal trash, come here. Minister Zhang, you guys leave. I'll see if they dare to show up." "All right, they won't dare to come." A faint laugh came from the void. Zhang Tao said mildly, "It's fine if they sneak around, but they won't have the guts to fight." "That's true." Fang Ping shook his head and sighed. "The evil sect is too weak. I don't feel anything when I kill them. That useless pope has been working for so many years and only has this trump card. Is it useful?" No one answered. Fang Ping continued to wander on top of the pile of corpses, saying mildly, "The evil sects are nothing to worry about. I wonder if some of the Grand Masters have seen it. Now that you've seen it, you'd better be more obedient and cooperate if you need to. Otherwise, you'll end up like an evil sect. Someone will be able to see it." Zhang Tao replied again and then said, "I'll go first, you finish up by yourself." "All right." There was no sound in the void. Fang Ping did not know whether old Zhang had left or not. He was not too concerned about this. Meanwhile, not far away from this place, the void trembled slightly. In a place that looked like a celestial realm, birds were chirping and flowers were fragrant. Some fairy-like women were picking fruits and flowers. In the next moment, space trembled. Birds and beasts were frightened and fled in all directions. You don't welcome me? Zhang Tao stepped on his military boots and tore through the void, stepping out. Like a teacher, he looked around with his hands behind his back and said with a faint smile, "This place is not bad. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to call it the celestial realm." In the next moment, a female figure appeared in the void. The woman was furious. Her eyes were cold and vigilant. "Who are you? Still pretending?" Zhang Tao was less than 100 meters away from the other party. His expression did not change as he said calmly, "Zhang Tao has some reputation. The Heavenly Department is enforcing the law and the Empress is spying. Does this mean that you might know the Grand Pope?" "I don't know." "Don't know?" Zhang Tao laughed. "I don't like to destroy flowers. What a beautiful scene. I'm a vulgar person. Once I use force, it'll ruin the scenery. What do you want? Tell me, who is the Grand Pope? Also..." Zhang Tao looked around and laughed. "There's still a true God alive. Fine, let the true God go out and join the Heavenly Department. He'll be in charge of suppressing the other disobedient fellows." "Arrogant!" Empress Wu Mo yelled. "Arrogant!" This person had entered the Outland and treated her like she was nothing. Did he really think that he could suppress the heavens? "I said, don't force me. I'm an easygoing person. You can go and ask. There are many people who scold me. I still have some ability to turn things around. I don't like to fight if I can." Zhang Tao laughed. "I don't mind even if you scold me. Cut the crap. Send the true gods and 3 rank 9s. The rest are up to you. As for you, hide if you want." Having said that, he added, "This Outland is not bad. I've taken a look. It seems to be made of a special material. It's not affected by the spatial rifts. I know what you're thinking. This is your home field. Heavens Beyond is your divine weapon. Here, you can control Heavens Beyond." However, as Zhang Tao said that, he punched out. Lightning flattened the ground. The Outland that even the spatial rifts could not cut suddenly shook. A black rift appeared in the sky. Empress Wu Mo's face was livid. Zhang Tao said calmly, "That's it. Stop me? I just don't want to be ruthless. Otherwise, I would have punched through this thing. Consider yourself unlucky. You dare to use your mentality to probe under my nose. You're asking for it. I don't want to initiate a fight against mythical figures like you, but that doesn't mean I can't. Listen to me. It's easy. If you don't, then I won't be able to talk to you either. Don't force me to kill an old antique. Mythical figures will shock everyone. You're too confident." Empress Wu Mo was like a 1,000-armed guanyin. Suddenly, many arms appeared behind her, holding various divine weapons. She looked at Zhang Tao coldly. 3 heads and 6 arms? Where's the head? Come, make a few more heads. I don't like the look of it. I'll cut them off for you." As soon as he said that, Zhang Tao took a step forward. As if teleporting, he appeared in front of the Empress in the blink of an eye. He grabbed one of her arms and broke it with a crack. "What the hell?" "That's it." Zhang Tao broke the arm and let Empress Wu Mo escape 1,000 meters away. He looked at the arm in his hand and shook his head. "Too weak. You probably advanced to rank 9 from the early stage of 7th refinement golden body. At rank 9 you forged your golden body to peak 7th refinement. The origin path is also a path. It's not 10,000 meters, but about 8,000 meters. Can you be called an emperor?" Zhang Tao said doubtfully. "The emperors you speak of don't feel that strong. What's going on? The origin path is less than 10,000 meters. It's not short. 8,000 meters is not bad. Your foundation is okay, about 300,000 calories. That's about 840,000 calories. That's not a titled rank, right?" In the distance, Wu Mo's expression changed. She said slowly, "We're just injured and haven't recovered. Years ago, A powerhouse ambushed us and broke our golden bodies. The newly forged golden bodies are not as good as before. Or else what? So what if you have a vitality of 1,000,000 cal? Zhang Tao sneered. But I'm interested in the person who ambushed you. Who is it? Unquestionable sword? I don't think so. You grandmasters who are hiding on Earth, unquestionable sword should not be too harsh on you. So it's someone else? I think I know who is capable of that on Earth, Zhang Tao said impatiently. How do we choose? I said we'll work together. I didn't ask you to come out, you old witch. Don't push me. This is the last chance. Cherish it. You're so overbearing. Aren't you afraid that we won't be willing? What are you afraid of? Zhang Tao chuckled. You can try. See if you can ambush me like how you ambushed Unquestionable Sword. I may not be as strong as Unquestionable Sword, but I'm more ruthless than him. He has many concerns. He wants revenge, but he's hesitant, and he has to be influenced by his sect. He's afraid of implicating his sect, and he has to betray his sect before doing anything. No matter how strong he is, he has his flaws. Years ago, he was ambushed at Purple Cap Mountain, probably because his sect was in danger. Do you think I will? I prefer the title of Snake King. You might want to see how it feels to have a venomous snake with Emperor-level strength stare at you day and night. Wu Mo, do you understand what I'm saying? If you do, then make your choice. I, Zhang Tao, am not Unquestionable Sword. He has respect for some old farts, but I don't. I rose up in the neo-martial arts. I have no gratitude for people like you. Don't push me. Empress Wu Mo's expression kept changing. She said slowly, Zhang Tao, don't try to be mysterious. You walk the path of human emperor and kill everyone in the human world. You will also die. Your flaws are more obvious than Unquestionable Sword. Yes. Zhang Tao smiled. You're right. This is my flaw, it's obvious. So what? Do you think it's faster for me to kill you or for you to kill the humans? I can try. Besides, do you really think I'm unprepared? Humans won't die, but I won't. I've hidden a few people. At least I'll give myself a chance to live. If you destroy Earth, I'll also have the power to fight one last time. Killing you guys isn't a big problem. Wu Mo's expression did not change, but she did not reply. Zhang Tao was a little impatient. His eyes suddenly turned ferocious and his aura erupted, creating many black cracks. Looks like you're very confident that I won't dare to kill you. Do you think I'm too easy to talk to? Crack! As he spoke, Zhang Tao teleported again. His palm took the shape of an eagle's claw and grabbed the other party's arm, breaking it instantly. You haven't recovered to your peak. Then be obedient. Looks like the person who hurt you knows when to stop. He'll need at least 1 or 2 years to recover to his peak. Interesting, this person is stronger than me now. As Zhang Tao spoke, Empress Wu Mo teleported again. She did not retaliate, but her expression was grim. Very strong. The other party truly had emperor-level strength. As for them, although they were still called great emperors, they had not recovered to their peak yet. They were slightly weaker than emperor level. What do you want? Wu Mo asked coldly. Zhang Tao could not help but laugh. He said lightly, It's always the same. You don't learn from your mistakes. It's simple. Didn't I tell you? The true gods will come out. At least 3 rank 9s will join the Heaven Division and fight. As for the true god. As Zhang Tao spoke, his figure suddenly moved. The next moment, an explosion erupted from below. Empress Wu Mo's expression kept changing, but she did not intervene. After a while, Zhang Tao carried a figure in his hand. It was also a female. At this moment, Zhang Tao was holding the other party in his hand like he was holding a chicken. He laughed and said, Listen to me. There are not many humans who are at the peak of female power. When you go to the Heaven Division, be obedient. I'm not asking you to risk your life. Make a statement. Even the true gods of Grandmaster have to risk their lives to survive. As he spoke, he lowered his head and looked at the indignant female true god in his hand. He raised his eyebrows and said, "You're not convinced? Fine, I'll give you a chance." Having said that, he tossed her casually. The other party crashed into the space and exploded. She staggered and flew to Wu Mo's side. "Both of you, come at me together. Come, I'll try beating you up with one hand." Zhang Tao was extremely savage. He laughed and said, "Seeing that you're women, I'll give you some face. I'm a person who has tender and protective feelings for the fairer sex. Look at Fang Ping. He's cruel and merciless. Can he beat a female martial artist like that? Can he simply punch a hole in someone's chest? Wouldn't it be better if you just burst someone's head with one punch? Why do you have to make it ugly even if you beat them to death? Look at me. I've beaten female true kings to death too. Other than the fact that they don't have heads, their bodies are perfectly preserved. When they live in their next life, they might still have a good body. They won't be flattened." As soon as he said that, the faces of the two opposite him turned ashen. At this moment, Zhang Tao still had the time to look at the watch in his hand. He glanced at it and said, "It's almost lunchtime. I still have to rush back to eat. Both of you 1 minute. 1 minute later, I'll be ruthlessly destroying a flower," Wu Mo said in a low voice. "The Fang Ping you're talking about, the one outside?" "That's right. He's in charge of the Heaven Division?" "That's right. He's just a golden body martial artist. What right does he have to have a true god follow him?" Wu Mo's tone was icy. This was the reason why she did not say anything. If it was to follow Zhang Tao, she might have agreed earlier. Beside her, the female true god also scolded. "He's just a golden body martial artist. How dare you ask me to follow him? What a joke! Just a golden body?" Zhang Tao rubbed his chin and laughed. "I've already said that he's narrow-minded and doesn't have tender feelings for the fairer sex. If I were to pass on your words, he would probably beat you to death when he's at his peak. This fellow is really narrow-minded. Are you sure you want to offend him now?" "Humph!" The female true god snorted coldly, looking indifferent. How could a mere golden body become a true god so easily? Wu Mo suddenly said, "He's already at the 8th refinement of the golden body? Didn't you see it?" Zhang Tao said playfully. "What do you think?" Wu Mo said lightly. "It's still the 9th refinement of the golden body. If he's at the 9th refinement of the golden body, there's no harm in Mu Yan following him." 9th refinement of the golden body? Zhang Tao smiled. "I'm a little curious. Did the 9th refinement of the golden body exist in your era?" Wu Mo said nothing. "Don't tell me there isn't. Or is it that only a very small number of people can? For example, those who walk the extreme path of the physique? You know about the extreme path?" Zhang Tao said indifferently. "Are these considered secrets? It's just the extreme path. I'm not willing to walk it." "Enough nonsense. The 9th refinement of the golden body might be difficult for the average person, but it's not too difficult for him." "Ridiculous, ignorant!" Wu Mo sneered. "Do you know what the 9th refinement of the golden body means? The 9th refinement of the golden body is great accomplishment, known as undying and indestructible. The so-called indestructible golden body doesn't refer to the current golden body. The true indestructible golden body refers to the 9th refinement of the golden body. Similarly, the 9th refinement of the golden body corresponds to the 9th refinement of the spiritual consciousness. These people are the foundation of the extreme path. They are the powerhouses who walk the extreme path. Even sovereigns can't completely annihilate them. Even if they are killed, they will appear in this world again one day." Zhang Tao rubbed his chin and said with a smile, "Is that so? That's a little interesting." At this moment, he suddenly knew something. Without saying this, Zhang Tao said again, 1 minute is almost up. Have you thought it through? It doesn't matter whether the true gods go or not. But if you don't go, it's more or less not giving face. Everyone is someone who wants face. If you don't give me face, then I won't give you face." Wu Mo's face was livid. This is called giving face? You directly barged into heaven beyond heaven and attacked without saying a word. This is called giving face? After a long time, Wu Mo said coldly, letting Mu Yen go out is fine. This emperor wants to reopen the sect. Going to the heaven division is just a stopgap measure. When the sect reopens, Mu Yen needs to return. Reopening the sect is no problem. Follow the rules of Profound Heaven sect. You'll know later. Zhang Tao agreed readily. But Mu Yen said coldly, this seat won't show up. Golden Body Realm martial artists don't have the qualifications to tell this seat what to do. Are you sure? Zhang Tao said with a smile. Showing your face is considered a comrade. Not showing your face, then it doesn't count. Don't expect anyone to remember the favor. Humph! Mu Yen snorted coldly. Remember the favor? Did she need it? Up to you. Zhang Tao stretched his back and said with a smile. Look, it's simple now. Let's do it this way. This Zhang will take his leave first. Done talking, Zhang Tao disappeared in an instant. As soon as he left, the two looked at each other. Then, Wu Mo suddenly snorted coldly, his face showing displeasure. In heaven beyond heaven, that 100-flower garden actually disappeared. That was all kinds of natural treasures that she had collected over countless years. Of course, to her, it was more important to admire it. But now, it was gone. Just now, when Zhang Tao went down to capture Mu Yen, he conveniently took her away. She did not pay much attention, only watching Mu Yen being captured. Mu Yen also saw this scene, her tone cold, saying, Master, this person is so domineering, how can he cultivate the emperor path? It's just specious. Wu Mo shook his head. The other party did not cultivate the pure emperor path, it was just similar. But very powerful. At least before her strength fully recovered, she was not the other party's opponent. All right, you coming out of heaven beyond heaven, the timing is just right. Even if he doesn't come, Master is also prepared to let you come out. Wu Mo said, do things in secret, don't get into conflict with the human world martial artists for now. Having said that, his gaze deepened, saying, that Fang Ping. 8 refinements of golden body. You keep an eye on whether someone is secretly manipulating it. In the neo-martial era, there shouldn't be an 8 refinements of golden body. Wu Mo said the words. Neo-martial era. Smoothly. Obviously, he was not ignorant. As he said that, Wu Mo frowned slightly and said, Fan Ping, the other one is also 8 refinements of golden body, but he's walking the extreme path, so it's not surprising. As for Fan Ping, he's not walking the extreme path, but he can actually step into the 8 refinements. He might be an important chess piece. Both the North and South sects might have a plot. Master, who was behind the North and South sects back then? Mu Yen asked, a little puzzled. Even after so many years, she still could not think of who it was. I don't know. Wu Mo laughed. Some things don't need to be investigated. Keep an eye on Fang Ping, maybe there will be some unexpected gains. Disciple understands. Mu Yen responded and quickly retreated. As soon as she left, Wu Mo looked at the black hole that was broken in the sky, frowning slightly. With a wave of his hand, the black hole disappeared. Zhang Tao. Whose chess piece is he? Wu Mo murmured softly. He was so strong, was he not afraid of going out of control? Or was there an arrangement long ago? These people are getting more and more reckless. The unquestionable sword in the past, and Zhang Tao today, have already gone out of control. Chaos is coming, and these chess pieces want to turn the tables, it's easy to backfire. Wu Mo frowned slightly, shaking his head, and quickly disappeared into the sky. The original site of the evil sect. Fan Ping's ears twitched slightly. Zhang Tao spoke telepathically. Don't bother about the Grand Master at the side. When they come, just recruit them. Don't use them as humans, there's a deadly mission for them to handle. Kid, you have to have tender feelings for the fairer sex, but you also have to look at the person. They're a group of 1,000-year-old old witches, don't be blinded by them. Fan Ping was speechless. I don't have that hobby. That's good. Be careful, there are more and more messy people gathering around you, including the old cat. As he said that, a big cat's ears twitched, its mouth clicking. You're the messy one. This cat is not. This cat is just here to watch the fun, don't talk nonsense. Old Zhang suddenly sneered and continued. The old cat is still trustworthy. This cat is afraid of death, it won't dare to mess around. You have to be careful. The wind and clouds are gathering, and there are more and more people around you. What seems like a coincidence may not be a coincidence. Although I don't want to say it, I still have to remind you, Wang Jinyang and the others gathering around you may not be a coincidence. Whether it's fated or someone is pushing it, be careful. Back then, you were led by Wang Jinyang and stepped into martial arts. Now that I think about it, it may not be a coincidence, understand? Also, don't use some of your abilities. Someone is making a move, you may be an extremely important link. Fan Ping smiled and said telepathically, Minister, have you invested? Me? Maybe. Fan Ping knows that some things may not be a coincidence. Karma meets fate, I understand some things. However, the me now is not qualified to think about these things. I will become stronger as soon as possible and get out of this crisis. That's good. It's not appropriate for me to show up next. I've already intimidated Wuma. I think these old antiques may have a way to contact each other, it should spread quickly. You go to them, force them to open their grotto heavens, recruit elites, and strengthen the heaven division. These people probably have the same idea. They want to reject, but they want to welcome. Don't be too courteous. If you don't force them, they may not have an excuse to come out. Again, don't use them as people, treat them as weapons, weapons that can hurt others as well as yourself. If they die, then they die. Don't feel sorry for them, don't care if they live or die. Be ruthless to your own people. These people should have died long ago. If they die, then they die. Understood. After talking for a while, Zhang Tao left for real this time. Fan Ping continued to use mentality fire to burn the middle-aged martial artist's spirit body, suddenly looking at the cat, smiling. I won't ask anything else, just one thing. Have you ever felt the Grand Pope's aura on me? Even if it's just a little. The cat meowed, lowered its head, and continued to eat. Fan Ping saw this and laughed. A cat that's afraid of death. Does he have the ability to kill you? From the looks of it, he does, right? The cat said nothing. Fan Ping laughed again. It's okay. Most of the people who are close to me are here. Even if they're acquaintances, they're not too close. If he's killed, then he's dead. The next time we meet, find a chance to kill him. Meow. Don't pretend you didn't hear it. Does a cat have times when it's afraid? No wonder you've lived long enough to forget what you shouldn't say. If it were me, I'd like this kind of cat too. So pure, so smart. Who said you're a dumb cat? He's the idiot, right? Meow. I'm just a cat. The cat felt wronged. I don't know, don't ask me, I forgot Alzheimer's. Chapter 882. On the 28th of January, Fan Ping led the Heavenly Division and annihilated the cult headquarters. On that day, Wuji Tan Tian swore that 3 rank 9 martial artists came to join him. They were all women, and they were as pretty as flowers and jade. In the end, he met a group of insensible fellows. Tian Mu did not know what was good for him. He said in front of them that he could fight 1 against 3 and skewer them. The few of them were so angry that their faces turned pale. Even though Fan Ping thought that these old demons looked pretty good when they turned pale, he did not stop Tian Mu. These rank 9s were rank 9s. Don't treat them like high grandmasters. But in this way, the 9th level Heaven Division battle strength reached a huge 12 people. Both possessed the strength of the Tao of Origin. Among the rank 9 martial artists from Grandmaster, there was no weak rank 9. If he was really too weak, he wouldn't have been worth protecting back then. On January 29th, Fang Ping led his team out again. He wasn't in a hurry to check his spoils of war. He didn't even have time to question the middle-aged martial artist. He continued to shove him into the golden house and let him attack. This time, Fang Ping went to a Grand Master. This heaven was called Guanming Guanjing Heaven. This was one of the sky beyond heaven that Su Bing knew of. Within the borders of Dongyu Wu. On an unknown cliff. Su Bing looked around and said after a while, "From what I can see, Duan Jingtian should be here. Emperor Guanming is extremely powerful, but he is a domineering person." As he spoke, a powerhouse under Empress Wu Mo snorted coldly and said, "Empress Guanming had a dispute with Heavenly Emperor Xianming in the past. I heard that the two great emperors had a conflict in the heaven realm. Su Bing, you're really good at finding." Of all places to look, he happened to find Emperor Guanming. Su Bing didn't mind. Fang Ping did not care. Regardless of whether there is a conflict or not, since we want to enter the world, we have to listen to the heaven division. Fang Ping was extremely arrogant. He shouted loudly, "Heavenly Emperor Guanming!" Since they were going to enter the world, they had to follow the laws of China and recruit origin realm cultivators into the heaven division. This was an order from the human emperor. "If anyone disobeys, I will flatten the heavens." Fang Ping had a condescending look on his face. He was extremely savage. The eyes of Su Bing and the other powerhouses from the realm beyond heaven flickered. If the heavens want to kill a man, they will first make him mad. Now, the human martial artists like Ren Huang and Fang Ping thought they were invincible. They conquered the heavens and were incomparably powerful. Which great emperor would be willing to accept this? Even if he didn't make a move now, these people would settle the score in the future. Even if you empty the toilet bowl for Grandpa Fang, it would be a great honor for you. Fang Ping's body suddenly expanded, his golden body dazzling. He was not holding a broadsword in his hand. Instead, he held the golden house and smashed it down violently. The void collapsed from the impact, and a crack appeared. Hongji's expression changed slightly, but he was not afraid. He had entered Origin, and he was a direct disciple of a great emperor. Why would he be afraid of a rank 8 golden body martial artist? In the blink of an eye, Hongji moved his feet and appeared above Fang Ping's head in the blink of an eye, his long spear stabbing straight at his Baihui. The brain nucleus was here. Although the brain nucleus was a manifestation of the Sanjiao Gate, in reality, Baihui was connected to the brain nucleus. This was also a major weakness of martial artists. The long spear did not make a crack. With a tremble, it went straight for Fang Ping's Baihui. Fang Ping was also extremely fast. He waved the golden house and smashed it with a loud bang. Bang! A violent sound was heard. Fang Ping took a few steps back. Hongji's long spear deviated, the tip of the spear trembling slightly. He snorted coldly. "You have some skills. No wonder you're so arrogant. However, an immortal object is still an external object after all. That's all there is to it." Fang Ping sneered. "External object? Isn't an immortal object cultivated by martial artists? I'm only 21 years old. How old are you? Trash is trash. What's the use of living long? You're an antique that's thousands of years old. You should just die after cultivating to this stage. Why embarrass yourself? You're asking for it." Hongji was furious. With the long spear in his hand, he attacked quickly. One of them was holding a long spear while the other was holding a golden house. They fought fiercely in the air. The mountains and rivers in the nearby area began to collapse. Tian Mu and the rest did not attack. They guarded the nearby area to prevent the aftermath from spreading. Although this place was deserted, it did not mean that no one would come. "How is this guy?" everyone discussed as they watched the battle. Bei Gongyan asked. Tian Mu chuckled. "Average. His origin path is about 7 stages. However, according to what Fang Ping said, these antiques might have just been revived and are not used to intense battles. They have to go down a stage, comparable to 6 stages of origin path." As for Fang Ping, Fang Ping has changed a lot this time. I think his strength is about 5 to 6 stages. It's useless to talk about stages, Old Manly said directly. It depends on outburst and strength control. I think we shouldn't judge based on how far one has gone on origin path in the future. Rank 9 mainly depends on the basic vitality, the depth of origin path, strength control, and combat technique proficiency. Starting from the weakest rank 9, the basic 100,000 calories. If they could not hold on, they would be finished. For Hongji, this kind of fighting style was too humiliating. He had just come out of the temple, and it was a fight to the death. For him, who had lived for thousands of years and finally came out of the temple, to encounter such a situation as soon as he came out, was he willing to fight to the death with the other party? The Celestial Emperor was right behind him. He had no choice but to fight. However, if he were to be killed here or seriously injured, it would not be worth it no matter how he thought about it. Moreover, the other party was too good at scolding. For Hongji, this was the first time he had met someone who did not care about his reputation and would scold his whole family during a fight. Being harassed by the other party's words, he felt a little uneasy. Both of them fought for 5 minutes. Hongji was smashed by Fang Ping's house. The phoenix winged hood was smashed into pieces. The golden chainmail was also completely a thing of the past. When he came out, the graceful and elegant Hongji was now even worse than a beggar. Fan Ping, on the other hand, became more and more arrogant. His golden torso was riddled with spear marks. Golden blood dripped continuously, but he was still in high spirits, suppressing Hongji's exploding hammer. Inside the temple. At this moment, it was quiet. In the Heavenly Emperor Hall. The Celestial Emperor Hall was an old man wearing a Taoist robe. His hair and beard were all white, but his skin was like crystal, glossy and delicate. At this moment, the scene of both of them fighting appeared in front of everyone. After a long time, the Celestial Emperor Hall said calmly, "The neo-martial artists are not afraid of death. They say it's martial arts, but it's actually demonic. The neo-martial artists are all demons. They kill for fun, take injuries as glory, and die in battle for merit. These people have long been led astray." As soon as he said that, a group of people below nodded in agreement. However, there was still someone who said, "Celestial Emperor, the neo-martial artists are strong and domineering. Everyone is crazy. Black Radiance and Limitless Sky have already compromised. Now, if we go against the neo-martial artists, I'm afraid there will be trouble." The Celestial Emperor Hall said indifferently, "At least we fought once. Black Radiance and the others are like slaves and have lost all face. Even if the Celestial Emperor Hall temporarily compromised, they will not be so shameless. But Prince Hongji, if this goes on, I'm afraid he will not be able to defeat the other party." It was not that Hongji was weak. It was that he did not dare to risk his life. During a fight, if they were evenly matched, then they would fight with their lives. How could they win if they did not dare to risk their lives? Everyone present was also a veteran who had fought all over the world. Just by looking at the momentum, they knew that Hongji would lose without a doubt. If he loses, so be it. Let the neo-martial artists continue to be arrogant. The Celestial Emperor Hall continued. Let them look down on us so that we don't have to fight with the land realm. Let us fight. Celestial Emperor, why don't you join forces with the land realm? Foolish! The Celestial Emperor Hall scolded. The land realm is a remnant of the earthly Emperor God dynasty. When we conquered the earthly Emperor God dynasty in the past, some of us did not die. If we join forces with the land realm, it will be even more dangerous. Celestial Emperor. Someone hesitated but still asked. Why don't you completely seal the Celestial Emperor Hall and wait until the Celestial Realm wall is completely broken before we come out of beyond heaven to seize the Emperor's path? They were still a little puzzled. Was it really necessary to enter the world now? He might as well wait for that day to come. It wouldn't be too late to come into being then. Celestial Emperor Hall's eyes were deep. We still have to come out. Chaos is coming, and all the monsters will appear. Understanding the monsters of the three realms is the first. Communicating with all sides and forming alliances is the second. Nurturing disciples and strengthening forces. The more people die, the better. Everyone looked puzzled. The Celestial Emperor Hall said indifferently, "When too many people die, their life energy will fade, the heavenly Tao will weaken, and the foundation of the great Tao will be shaken. At that time, perhaps the Emperor's path will be revealed. In the past, we conquered the earthly Emperor God dynasty and killed countless people. That day, the heavenly Tao changed, and we only found out about it. Over the years, wars have been launched again and again, and there are people manipulating them in the dark. The more experts die, the better. When too many experts die, the great Tao will change. At that time, the door blocking the way will appear. Perhaps we can break through the door and break through to the next realm." As soon as he said that, someone was moved. Soon, someone said, "Then, more than 2,000 years ago, the world changed, and the great Tao became chaotic. Was that the reason for the war?" "That's right. Some people are secretly manipulating this war. The war between the North and the South, the struggle for the extreme Tao. When the heavenly realm was still around, this dispute had already happened, but it was not as intense as before. More than 2,000 years ago, these people in the North Sea were instigated by someone to stir up a war between the North and the South. With the help of the remnants of the earthly Emperor God dynasty, that war broke out. Unfortunately, it didn't succeed in the end. Perhaps the number of dead experts wasn't enough. Not enough people died, and the celestial realm wall hasn't opened yet, so the door blocking the way hasn't appeared." As he spoke, Guan Ming's eyes were like the sun and moon. He said indifferently, "No, perhaps the seed of rebirth hasn't appeared yet. It lacks an opportunity. In this life, the seed of rebirth will appear, and the celestial realm wall will be broken. The Emperor's path is right in front of us." Guan Ming was eager. He didn't have much time left. Someone was plotting everything. In this era, many people's lifespans were coming to an end. Coincidentally, the Emperor's path appeared in this era. Not just them. Some hidden old antiques would appear. Some experts and even some demons from the Sea of Bitterness would show up. The timing was too coincidental. At this time, too many powerhouses would face such a crisis. Those who usually hid, cultivated in seclusion, and did not compete, they would all appear. Having cultivated to this stage, could they watch helplessly as their lifespans ran out? They had transcended. They should have transcended a long time ago, no longer being shackled by lifespans. How could they die a violent death because their lifespans were exhausted at this time? Guan Ming murmured, "This time. Neo-martial artists must fight for the world." 1,000 years ago, some old antiques did not appear. There was no other reason. 1,000 years ago, everyone did not care too much about the problem of lifespans. Many people could still continue to live. But now, it was not possible. If they did not appear this time, they might not have another chance. This time, it was also the real world of great competition. Some people had already planned in advance. Some people, who did not plan in the past, were planning now. Urging the outbreak of war, waiting for the realm wall to break, contacting all parties, forming alliances. Next, that would be the real world of chaos. Bang! Emperor Guan Ming was still thinking about those things. At this moment, outside, Fang Ping had smashed Hong Ji's body into pieces. A Chan Dao appeared, chopping off his right arm. His left arm had long been shattered. Fang Ping held the saber and was about to behead the other party. In the void, Emperor Guan Ming said lightly, "Enough." Fang Ping did not care about him. His Chan Dao slashed directly. Humph! Guan Ming snorted softly. The void froze instantly. Fang Ping's Chan Dao could not fall. Hong Ji, who was under his foot, flushed, angry and anxious. Useless. Fang Ping cursed and withdrew his Chan Dao. At this time, there were no obstacles. Fan Ping looked at the void and said loudly, Emperor Guanming, each side must send at least 3 origin powerhouses. Join the Heaven Division and conquer everywhere. If necessary, the Celestial Emperor must also attack and kill the Catacombs powerhouses. I have not recovered from my injuries. I'm afraid I can't come out of seclusion. Guanming's answer was indifferent. Fan Ping did not care. He smiled. I won't force it. However, when the Grand Masters enter the Heaven Division, those who do not obey the military orders will be killed without mercy. The Celestial Emperor must choose his people carefully, lest the people who come out of seclusion are killed, delaying the Celestial Emperor's important matters. As he said that, Fan Ping kicked Hongji and laughed. This person can come out of seclusion. I see that he is very dissatisfied. Just nice, I'll find a chance to kill him and be done with it. Hongji, who was kicked and sent flying, was furious. Emperor Guanming did not answer. After a long time, he said slowly, 3 days later, someone will go to the Heaven Division. I forgot to mention, the cultivation methods have to be handed over, including spirit stones, energy fruits, and so on. Before the Celestial Emperor sends people out of seclusion, take these things with you, just in case something happens. Having said that, Fan Ping laughed heartily, stepped into the void and left. He did not even look at the furious Hongji behind him. After he left, an indifferent snort was heard. In the blink of an eye, Hongji was swept into Guanming by a force. January 30th, 27th of the 12th lunar month. Fan Ping once again led the Heaven Division to conquer thoughtless Jiangyu. This time, both sides clashed again. The Heaven Division killed a rank 9 and intimidated thoughtless Jiangyu. 3 powerhouses, Jiang Tao, Lijin, and War King, joined forces and almost blew up thoughtless Jiangyu. As such, the other party chose to compromise and sent 3 rank 9 powerhouses to the Heaven Division. In a short 3 days, the Heaven Division fought consecutively and returned victorious. The 3 Grandmasters, Wuji Sky, Guanming Sky, and thoughtless Jiangyu, compromised and sent powerhouses to the Heaven Division to obey orders. At this point, including Xianming Sky, a total of 12 powerhouses entered the Heaven Division, including 1 true god and 11 rank 9s. In an instant, the Heaven Division's strength skyrocketed. Fan Ping, however, knew that they were just paper. These people from the human realm upon heavens could turn against them at any time. Before the other party turned against him, he had to make the best use of these powerhouses. He did not care even if all of them died. January 31st, Fan Ping led the team back to Magic City. It was not that there were no more places to conquer, but it was almost New Year. This day was already the 28th of the 12th lunar month. New Year's Eve was approaching. For the people, it was the end of the year, and it was customary to stop fighting. As for Fan Ping, at this time, he needed to sort out his gains and information. In the past few days, although there were not many battles, Fan Ping was actually very tired dealing with these old antiques. Currently, Grand Master was not Sino Nation's main pressure or opponent. Their current enemy was still the Catacombs. In the few days when he led the team out, the Catacombs also received information that there were more and more true kings gathering in the Land of Kings. The Land of Kings might be opening soon. Not only that, there seemed to be some changes in the Catacombs. Some young powerhouses were coming out one after another. There were even people who left the restricted area and entered the outskirts, fighting in the outskirts. The Jiang family's Jiang Hao, a powerhouse who was about to enter rank 8 and was known as invincible among rank 7s, was seriously injured by same-rank martial artists in the outskirts. Troubled times were coming. There were movements in the Land of Kings, in the bounded zones, and even in the Forbidden Sea. Recently, some humans in the Catacombs cities felt something. The Forbidden Sea seemed to be expanding. Near the coast, the figures of demons were often seen. In the middle of the sea, the roars of what seemed to be top-notch demon powerhouses could be heard. There seemed to be demons fighting in the Forbidden Sea too. Some demons in the bounded zones were even participating in the war. Even Magic City Catacombs Jiao seemed to have something to look for Fang Ping. Previously, when he went to the original site of Hope City, he did not see Fang Ping running away in a hurry. He did not know what was going on. Under such circumstances, while the ordinary people were preparing for the new year, Fang Ping had no choice but to return to Magic City with these messy affairs. The moment he returned to Magic City's airspace, Fang Ping felt a little sad. 3 years ago, he did not think that one day he would be so busy. Prosperous times, troubled times lurk. In this world, if we don't kill, the prosperity will be overturned in a day. I hope this prosperity lasts a little longer. Chapter 883. January 31st, 28th of the 12th lunar month. On this day, Fang Ping returned to Magic City. He did not go to school, did not go to the catacombs, and did not even return to the Heaven Division. Fang Ping returned home in the afternoon. Walking in front of the district, Fang Ping was a little absent-minded. How long had it been since he came back? Home was right in front of him. His parents had moved from Sun City to Magic City, and Fang Ping returned even less, even if he could reach in an instant with his speed. It seemed like he had gone back once during the summer vacation. In the blink of an eye, half a year had passed. Fang Ping had not returned for half a year. Too busy. Too tiring. It was not that he could not go back, but he always thought that he would go back when he had some free time. However, every time he thought of this, the moment of leisure passed in a flash. In the second half of 10 years, Fang Ping had done too many things and killed too many people. Walking in front of the district, Fang Ping walked in. The moment the security guards at the district entrance saw Fang Ping, they were first absent-minded, followed by deep respect. The 4 security guards were like soldiers at this moment. They suddenly saluted and shouted, "Hello, Minister Fang!" Respect. That was true. The catacombs had been made public. In the past 100 years, tens of millions of people had died. Magic City's catacombs had been open for more than 60 years. How many people had died in Magic City? How many martial artists and elites had died in Magic City's catacombs? A few days ago, Fang Ping had led MC Meiyu and pacified Magic City's catacombs. This was an unparalleled achievement. Even these security guards knew of Fang Ping's achievements. The district's security captain was also a martial artist and a retired soldier. He had once been stationed in Magic City's catacombs. He was injured in Magic City's catacombs and retired to become a security captain. When talking about the dangers of the catacombs, these security guards were shaken to the core. Such a dangerous catacombs had been pacified by a young man in the end. Who would not admire him? Moreover, he was one of the world's top powerhouses. He was ranked second on the rank 8 list and had the strength to fight high grandmasters. "Hello?" Fang Ping restrained his emotions and pulled himself together. He was at home, but he felt a little homesick. His parents had called a few times in the past half a year, but they had never seen each other in person despite being so close. Fan Mingrong and his wife were worried that they would affect their son, so they did not dare go to MC Meiyu to look for Fang Ping. They could only learn about their son's situation through Fang Yuan. Thinking of this, Fang Ping exhaled softly. Protecting the country. Sometimes he was confused. Which was more important, the family or the country? He said it was for his little family, but in the end, this little family had not returned for a long time. Before this, he had regarded MC Meiyu as a small family. And now, with the establishment of the Heaven Division, the scope of this small family seemed to have expanded by a lot. Step by step, he felt that something was wrong. Something's wrong! Old Zhang seems to be scamming me. Pushing me to the edge of the cliff step by step. Fang Ping mumbled to himself. He nodded at the security guard and walked toward his house. Old Zhang had tricked him. He seemed to have fallen into a trap. I told you that I wouldn't be like him. I'm a selfish fellow, but now, it seems like I'm walking down his old path. While Fang Ping was thinking about these things, some people in front of the district gates exclaimed, "Why is Minister Fang here?" This was a new resident. An old resident hurriedly said, "You probably don't know about this. When Minister Fang was still an MCMAU student, he had bought a house here. His parents had settled down here. But I haven't seen Minister Fang for a while. I could still see him sometimes in the past. Minister Fang is too busy. I heard that the Heaven Division was established a few days ago. Minister Fang led some Grandmaster powerhouses out to fight. Sigh, martial arts powerhouses. I used to be envious, but now I can't say envious. Did you see the list that the government made public? These years, so many Grandmasters have died in battle. It's admirable, respectable, and a pity." The person who spoke was a middle-aged man. Before the catacombs was made public, who did not envy these powerhouses? Who did not envy these powerhouses? The real bigwigs, the privileged class. When Grandmaster-level powerhouses, whether they were from the people or the government, arrived at a place, the local governor had to meet them personally to show respect. At that time, everyone was extremely envious and jealous. But now, when the catacombs were made public, when the government made public the list of those who died in battle over these years, and when the names of Grandmasters were listed, there was only respect and no hatred. These Grandmasters had used their lives to explain what a Grandmaster-level powerhouse was. They had to be first in every battle. As the middle-aged man spoke, someone said in a low voice, "In the face of disaster, someone has to stand up, stand up. Minister Fang and these people are the heroes of this era. There's not much we can do. Minister Fang has many things to do. Since his relatives are in the same area as us, if there's trouble in the future, we'll just have to help." Well said. This is how it should be. The group of people spoke one after another. Even though they were old and could no longer advance in martial arts, they were still impassioned at this moment. Whether it was sincere or not, hearing these words, even Fang Ping, who was already far away, felt much better. Most of the time, faith was born inadvertently. Some martial artists would also feel indignant sometimes. Why? Why did martial artists have to go to the front line? Why did these mediocre fellows have to hide in the back and enjoy prosperity? The front line was bathed in blood, and there were still some people in the back waiting to die. Some people used to complain often dissatisfied. Many times, when martial artists heard these comments, they felt bad. Now that the catacombs were made public, there were fewer such voices. A martial artist's status was exchanged with their lives. Today's martial artists were much less resentful than before. It had to be said that there were pros and cons to making the catacombs public. Fortunately, the situation on Earth was still stable. A group of powerhouses in Sino Nation had also made many arrangements. In general, the pros outweighed the cons. Villa area. Fang family villa, in the courtyard. Fan Yuan seemed to know that Fang Ping was back, or maybe she heard someone calling her. She ran out of the house. When she saw Fang Ping, she was overjoyed and shouted, "Dad, Mom, brother is back!" Fang Ping burst into laughter. He quickly entered the courtyard and said, amused, "Do I need to make such a big fuss about my return?" Fang Yuan said happily, "You said you'd come back after fighting in Magic City's catacombs. In the end, you were busy preparing for the Heaven Division and didn't go home. I even told Dad and Mom that you'd be home soon. It's almost the new year. Brother, next time when you make a promise, you must keep it. You're too talkative." Fang Ping laughed and was about to pinch her cheek. Fang Yuan moved her feet and quickly dodged, saying unhappily, "Don't pinch me. I'm already a middle-ranked martial artist." "Yo, you're acting all high and mighty in front of me?" Fang Ping laughed again. At this time, Fang Mingrong and Li Weiying walked out of the house. When they saw Fang Ping, Fang Mingrong did not react, but Li Weiying's eyes were red. In the blink of an eye, they had not seen their son for more than half a year. They only knew that their son was out there fighting, getting stronger and stronger, from middle rank to high ranked, from a student to a vice-chancellor, then a deputy minister. His status was getting higher and higher, but the higher their son's status was, the more worried the couple was. When he was stronger, his status was higher, and the enemies he encountered were stronger too. Sometimes the news would report some news about the catacombs and introduce some powerhouses. These people could shatter space, were omnipotent, and were extremely powerful. Now their son's opponents were all these people. How could the couple not worry? "Mom, don't cry when you see me," Fang Ping chuckled. "Aren't I doing well now? Your son has done you proud. I've become Sino Nation's deputy minister. When I go out now, I'll be awe-inspiring and subdue everyone." "You only know how to say nice things," Li Yueying reprimanded, her eyes red. "You're so busy? Your house is right outside your door. Why didn't you come back to visit?" Beside her, Fang Mingrong smiled and comforted. "Ping Ping is managing a lot of things now. Don't always add to his troubles. You're back. Come in quickly. Your mom was talking about you just now." Fang Ping chuckled and stepped into the house. He stared at his parents. Fang Ping was a little surprised, but he also understood. He smiled. "Mom, Dad, you're both rank 2 martial artists now. Did Gundun steal my resources and bring them back?" Behind him, Fan Yuan, who had followed him into the house, pouted and said gloomily, "Brother, don't accuse me wrongly, okay? Mom, Dad, the resources are subsidized by the government. You're already a deputy minister. The government has subsidies too. They've sent them all to our house." Fang Mingrong was also full of smiles. He sat down on the sofa and nodded. Yuan is right. They're resources from the government. They said that you've done a lot of meritorious deeds. You don't need them, so they sent them to our house. Your mom and I aren't young anymore. We don't expect martial arts to have a bright future, but at least we have some capital to defend ourselves. Fan Ping nodded slightly and said no more. This bit of resources was really not worth mentioning to him. Nowadays, everyone practiced martial arts. Even if his parents did not want to fight, practicing martial arts to strengthen their bodies was also good. At least rank 2 martial artists would not fall sick. Fan Ping had just sat down when his eyes widened in the next second. "You! What's wrong with you?" Fan Ping looked at the gray cat wandering out of the kitchen and was dumbfounded. Why did this cat come to his house? F***ck. I remember when I left, it was brought to the island. At the entrance of the kitchen, the gray cat was lazily holding a plate of cooked pork ribs in its mouth. It wanted to say something when it realized that it was still holding something in its mouth. It suddenly stood up on its hind legs, picked up the plate, and said while eating, "I just got here. Help me find little ball. I'm going back." As soon as the gray cat spoke, Li Yueying and Fang Mingrong turned pale with fright. They quickly looked at Fan Ping and calmed down. They suppressed their panic and said nothing. A cat that could talk. In the past, it would have scared people to death. However, the couple now knew a little about the martial arts world. They knew that there were monsters in the catacombs too. It seemed normal that monsters could talk. The couple suppressed their panic, but Fan Yuan's eyes were wide open. The gray cat? This cat was famous in the circle of high-ranked powerhouses. Most people did not know about the gray cat, but she was Fan Ping's sister. This cat seemed to be stronger than her big brother. When she heard the gray cat's words, Fan Yuan quickly put on a smile. Her already thin round face appeared again. She said with a smile, "Are you the gray cat? What little ball are you looking for? I have a lot of little balls." The gray cat glanced at her and swallowed a piece of pork rib, muttering. The others did not hear it, but Fan Ping's ears twitched. He said quickly, "I'll talk to the gray cat. Dad, Mom, you guys go ahead and cook. You haven't been home for a long time. Make more delicious food today." After saying that, Fan Ping stood up and gestured to the gray cat. They walked toward the balcony together. On the balcony, the gray cat was still eating. Fan Ping stared at it for a while and frowned slightly. "Brother cat, you don't have to be in such a hurry to find little balls, do you? With your personality, it's not like you to follow me all the way to my house. Crunch. The gray cat continued chewing on the pork rib, too lazy to respond. Brother Cat, I think you said something just now. Since you're here, if you don't mind, why don't you tell Fan Ping? The gray cat raised its head and glanced at him. Its face showed some hesitation. After a while, it muttered, "That little chubby face just now is from your family, right?" Fan Ping was stunned. He suddenly felt like laughing. "You're a big fat cat. Aren't you embarrassed to call this fatty and that little chubby face every day? Why don't you take a look at how fat your face is?" "Yes, it's my sister. Brother Cat, if you have something to say, please say it." Fan Ping is not someone who does not know his limits. If there are some things that don't affect you, please tell me. Is there something wrong with my sister? I don't know. The gray cat scratched its ears with its oily paws and said, "There's the smell of someone familiar. It's not little chubby face. Someone familiar seemed to have come into contact with her. Fan Ping, be careful. Little Sword did the same thing back then. Then Little Sword went crazy." The gray cat was a little depressed. It lay on the ground and continued eating. Some people are very bad. They're always thinking of bad things. Little Sword used to be very good, but when his wife died, he went crazy. Don't go crazy too. That won't be good. The gray cat became even more depressed. If he went crazy, he would not be the same person he was. Fan Ping said with a serious expression, "Someone familiar? Brother Cat, this matter concerns Fan Ping's family. Please tell me more. Who is it?" He had not returned for a long time because he wanted to play down some things. Martial artists would never be threatened by others because of their family. Even if their family was killed, they would never put down their weapons and allow themselves to be trampled on. This was a martial artist. Although they fought to protect their family, they were not inflexible and would not be threatened by their family at critical moments. But that was when they had no other choice. Who could endure having their family killed? Fan Ping had brought his parents to Magic City because he felt that Magic City was safer. Most people would not dare to do anything under his nose. Even the evil sect in the past did not dare to come to Magic City to capture his family to threaten him. But now, it seemed like someone had set their sights on his family. This was something Fan Ping could not tolerate. Even if the other party was an emperor-level powerhouse, he would not let it go. The gray cat said gloomily, "It's a little familiar, but I can't remember. You people will encounter this kind of thing now. Not only you, but many others. Some bad people don't look for you, they look for your family. Many years ago, there were bad people who did these bad things. Grooming other people's disciples, letting them kill their masters. Grooming other people's sons and daughters, letting them kill their elders. Anyway, there are many bad people." The gray cat's face was full of disappointment. "You humans, some people are really bad." Fan Ping did not care about this. He asked, "Brother Cat, you really don't know the people who came into contact with my sister? Do you know when they came into contact?" "Probably recently." The gray cat raised its head, thought for a while, and said, "It seems like it's not just this chubby face, there are a few others too, a few others." Fan Ping's eyes moved slightly, and a few blurry figures quickly appeared. The gray cat took a look, scratched its head with its paw, and said, "It seems like it's them." Fan Ping's gaze was cold and fierce. He had materialized two of Zhang Tao's descendants, Zhang and Zhang Shui, Zhang Tao's grandson and granddaughter. There were actually people who came into contact with them. After all, these people had always been in Magic City. Someone actually dared to show up in Magic City. This place was frequented by Absolute Peak. Even Zhang Tao would come here often. Very gutsy. Very confident. He's plotting against us. Does he think we're unquestionable sword? Fan Ping gritted his teeth. Family members should not be implicated. He would fight openly. Even if he could not win, he would accept it. He hated this kind of beast who secretly plotted behind the scenes the most. Brother Cat, can we still find them in Magic City now? The gray cat shook its head and said, "There doesn't seem to be a familiar smell. With me here, even acquaintances dare not stay here. Is the other party male or female?" "I don't know." The gray cat continued to shake its head. It was just a little familiar. Who knew if it was male or female? "Did they only come into contact with my sister and the rest recently?" "Probably." Fan Ping nodded slightly, exhaling. "Thank you, Brother Cat. I'll remember this." He was ready to contact old John immediately and arrange for people to investigate one by one. He would also ask Fan Yuan and the rest who they had come into contact with recently. However, for powerhouses who were confident enough to do things in Magic City, they might not be able to detect anything. However, this incident reminded Fan Ping that even Magic City did not mean that it was safe. Someone wanted to use the same trick they used on Unquestionable Sword to deal with them. Wishful thinking. A bunch of old and immortal things. They only know how to play with these things all day long. If people like them become emperors, then the heavens must be blind. Fan Ping cursed under his breath. Suddenly, he looked at the gray cat and smiled. "Brother Cat, my house has a lot of delicious food. How do my mom's pork ribs taste? Why don't you stay at my house for a while, Brother Cat?" The gray cat clicked its tongue. Did he not know how to bully a cat? This liar wanted to trick a cat into watching the house for him. He would not do it. He was not a watch cat. The gray cat shook its big head. He would not do it. He was not willing. He was not willing. Brother Cat, sleeping anywhere is the same. It's the same here, isn't it? No. The gray cat refused again. If he did not do this, he would not watch the house. Fan Ping saw the situation and smiled. How about this? Before the small round ball is found, Brother Cat can stay at my house for a while. When it is found, Brother Cat can do whatever you want. How about that? Seeing that it was about to refuse again, Fan Ping said quickly, "I also know many places with delicious food. In the catacombs, there are many drinks like life essence and a lot of delicious fruits like cat fruits. In a few days, I will probably go to the catacombs and bring some back for Brother Cat. Right now, I'm probably the only one in the world who can bring it back. How about letting Brother Cat have a taste?" The gray cat was a little tempted, but it still said gloomily, "But I don't fight. If someone really hits Lil Chubby Face, should I fight?" "No need." Fan Ping agreed readily. He smiled. "After you catch the other party, send him to me or the fake emperor. We'll stab him to death for you." "Oh. Oh right, is the person who contacted my sister the same as the Pope?" The gray cat shook its head and said, "It seems different. The taste is different." Fan Ping's eyes moved slightly. If that was the case, there were powerhouses with bad intentions on Earth. They were extremely powerful. They dared to act in Magic City. If they were not powerful, they might not have the guts. The other party was confident that even if old John came, the other party could hide or sense it in advance and escape quickly. As for Fan Ping, the other party probably did not care at all. Fan Ping could not find any traces of the desperate realm. The person who came was at least at the desperate realm. He might even have reached the Emperor realm that had been enhanced twice. How dare he? Fan Ping cursed in his heart. He better not let me find any clues. Otherwise, this time, no matter what, he would call old John and the others to kill the other party. Not only did they use him as a chess piece, they even wanted to touch his family. Taking a deep breath, Fan Ping made a deal with the gray cat to stay at his house temporarily. As for whether the gray cat came unintentionally for the ball or to remind him, no matter what, Fan Ping did not want to speculate too much. At least for now, this cat was helping them. The man and the cat chatted for a while. The gray cat's knowledge was limited. It could not give a reason, so Fan Ping did not ask any more. If he asked again, the gray cat seemed to be a little irritated. Coming out from the balcony, the gray cat was still sunbathing and eating. Fan Ping saw his parents looking at him, and smiled. The gray cat will be staying at home for a few days. Mom, cook more meals next time and prepare one for it. Li Yueying nodded hurriedly, then said uneasily, This monster. Was it appropriate to keep a monster at home? Fan Ping coughed softly and smiled. It's okay. You can just treat it like a normal cat. It's quite cute, just that it eats a little too much. That's not a big deal. We don't lack food at home now. Seeing that his mother was relieved, Fang Ping coughed softly. That? Prepare more! Even if it eats 10,000 caddies of food, it won't be full. The whole house fell silent. What was this? Even pigs were not raised like this, right? Did all monsters have such big appetites? Li Yueying did not know whether to laugh or cry. Her son said to prepare one more meal. She thought it was the normal kind, but now... Li Yueying suddenly had a headache. She was having a headache. Fan Yuan asked eagerly. Brother, can I pinch it? That cat was very fat. She wanted to pinch it the moment she saw its fat face, but she was afraid that the gray cat would get angry. Even her big brother would not be able to stop it. Don't do anything stupid! Fan Ping looked sideways at the gray cat that was still pretending to be dead. He smiled suddenly. You can brush its fur if you're fine. The ash cat seemed to like being brushed by people. Warlord had done that and lived until now, letting Fan Yuan brush it. If the cat saw that Fan Yuan was in danger, would it help? Brush its fur. Okay. Fan Yuan was elated and excited. Fan Ping teased. You guys can try pinching each other's cheeks. Fan Yuan pouted. I'm not as fat as that cat. Fan Ping laughed. The more he laughed, the colder his heart became. He called old John later. They were bullying him right at his doorstep. Old John had even said that Sino Nation was his territory, and that he was the boss. He could beat up whoever he wanted. Now, he was being bullied to the point of no return. Jiang Wang said something recently. The Patriarch had said a few more things previously. Purple Cap Mountain might be related to Unquestionable Jian. Back then, Unquestionable Jian had been ambushed and killed on Purple Cap Mountain. The master of Purple Cap Mountain's Grotto Heaven might have participated in that battle as well. Whether he helped Unquestionable Jian or killed Unquestionable Jian was unclear. Ping Jiang. Some power people. Was not. Ping Marshal Ping said. It had not. Ping. Tian was. Ping. In that battle, a few experts seemed to have died, including Unquestionable Jian. So many people died. According to Ping Jiang, treasures might have been born at their place of death. A group of Emperor-level powerhouses is stronger than Ping Jiang. Some died. They were not Dao transformed. They did not die in the space battlefield. Maybe they died at Purple Cap Mountain. One can imagine. The corpses of such powerhouses are still here. Although it's disgusting, Emperor-level corpses can be used as nourishment. All of you should be aware of how powerful the treasures produced in this place are. As soon as he said that, Fan Ping was moved. You mean the corpses of those powerhouses who died are still here? Monster plants are living on the corpses and are now bearing energy fruits? A group of Emperor-level powerhouses. It was unbelievable that their corpses could be preserved after they died in battle. It was said that there were living people. Since there were living people and Emperor-level powerhouses who died in battle, how could these people not take their corpses? Now Warlord said the corpses might still be there. Not only that, but they might be absorbed by the monster plants as nourishment. When a golden body powerhouse died, the energy contained in their corpses was extremely terrifying. Not to mention Emperor-level powerhouses. Now it had even borne fruit. Fan Ping suspected that the only fruit at the peak might not be as good as this. No wonder Fatty Jiang was full of confidence earlier, saying that he would achieve 5th or 6th refinement immediately when he reached rank 8. Jiang Chao nodded. Ping Jiang said the corpses are probably still here. As for why they are still here, it's hard to say now. Maybe everyone was seriously injured in the war that year. They were in a hurry. It's also possible that unexpected factors appeared, causing such a thing to happen. Of course, there's another possibility. Someone is setting this up. Jiang Chao had a helpless look on his face. Someone might be purposely creating this thing to attract some people over. Also, Ping Jiang also said that the monster plant that Minister Zhang picked up back then might also have come from the corpses. Ping Jiang called it the Emperor's tomb. That monster plant might have been killed on purpose and thrown to Minister Zhang. Anyway, the situation is very complicated. Ping Jiang thought that no one would care. He wanted to see if he could find a chance to sneak in. But now, there is a lot of movement over at Purple Cap Mountain. There are frequent energy riots. The boundary zone seal seems to have some problems. The energy fruit's aura is overflowing too strongly. Even the Forbidden Sea Demon clan is attracted. People are coming over from the Forbidden Zone. Ping Jiang said that there might even be a group of descendants of those powerhouses mixed in. At the Emperor's tomb, there might still be some divine weapons of those who died in the war. If we're lucky, their origin Dao might still be there. One can imagine how attractive this is. Forget about an Emperor-level origin Dao, even a rank 9 origin Dao can attract countless people to fight for it. Jiang Chao said bitterly. Fan Ping, my opportunity is about to fly away. Also, what's attracting Old Wang might be that thing. Ping Jiang said that Old Wang cultivates vitality. These Emperor-level powerhouses are dead, but their corpses are incomparably powerful. Their vitality is also incomparably powerful. The fruit born on this basis might be of great help to powerhouses who cultivate vitality. If we eat it, it might just forge our flesh. If Old Wang eats it, there might be earth-shattering changes. Using Emperor-level corpses as nourishment, this is too terrifying. Fan Ping's gaze flickered slightly. It has a special effect on Old Wang? The old cat once said that the one who drew Old Wang might be unquestionable swords master. And the Purple Cap Mountain's Grotto Heaven Master should not be dead. Both Warlord and Minister have said this before. He's still alive. Since he's alive, could the riot in Purple Cap Mountain this time be deliberately led by him? Jiang Chao shook his head. I don't know about this. There's another point. There's a passageway inside Imperial Sea that seems to lead to the bounded domain. Ping Jiang suspects that someone has entered and exited it before. Maybe it's a setup. Anyway, things are very complicated now. Nanjiang and Beihu Catacombs, the two major catacombs, now have powerhouses hovering at the edge of the Forbidden Sea. In the Forbidden Sea, there are also many demons gathering. Over at the bounded domain, the demons have also begun to gather. Also, there are demons being attracted to Nanjiang and Beihu's demon clan Forbidden Lands, including some city lords and guardian demons. Wind and clouds gathered. At this moment, with Purple Cap Mountain's Grotto Heaven as the base, powerhouses were gathering in all directions. These people did not care about the humans' matters this time, and did not attack the city either. A large number of rank 8 and rank 9 powerhouses were wandering around the Forbidden Sea tributary. Moreover, the situation was extremely complicated. Old Wang followed up and explained. I entered Nanjiang's catacombs once before and explored a little. There are many powerhouses. There are no less than 30 rank 9. This is what I sensed. There are even more that I didn't sense. This is just Nanjiang. I heard that it's the same over at Beihu. Among these people, some are here for the Emperor-level origin path, some are here for the energy fruits, and some are here for other purposes, such as the situation at Purple Cap Mountain. There are also some people who are here for the unquestionable sword. Rumor has it that unquestionable sword died here. But whether he's dead or alive, nobody knows. Having said that, Wang Jinyang said solemnly, Actually, I shouldn't have informed you about this, but I still came. Many people are saying that you're the reincarnation of unquestionable sword. Once you appear there, it will immediately cause great chaos. Fan Ping, I even suspect that someone is trying to use this opportunity to trap you. I'm talking about unquestionable sword. Maybe he's still alive. He wants to make you the real unquestionable sword on purpose. I think you should understand what I mean. But I'm the one who's attracted there. If he knows that you'll definitely go, that means that he knows that our relationship isn't bad. If I go, there's a high chance that you'll go too. That means that the person who set this up might be in the human world. Wang Jinyang's eyes were clear. If Unquestionable Sword wants to be a fisherman, then he might not show himself now. But many people are guessing that there must be a reason why he's not dead. If he's not dead, then everyone will be on guard against him. How can we make him disappear in front of everyone? You're the most suitable. Once you confirm your identity as Unquestionable Sword's reincarnation, everyone will keep their eyes on you and believe that you're Unquestionable Sword. When that time comes, he can really hide in the dark. Fan Ping picked up his teacup and took a sip. He smiled. Makes sense. What you're saying is still somewhat logical. Over at the catacombs, until now, there are still many people who believe that I'm Unquestionable Sword's reincarnation. Once I appear there, when that time comes, if some treasures are obtained by me. Alright, to be honest, if I go, I'll definitely fight for the treasures. When that time comes, the probability of me getting it is very high. In that case, it's like I'm arranging a path of retreat for myself. I'm Unquestionable Sword. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone was not stupid. After some speculation, if the one who set this up was Unquestionable Sword, then the possibility was still very high. Fan Ping looked at Wang Jinyang and smiled. Since you found your way here, then you mean to go? Yes. Wang Jinyang was not vague either. He said quickly, You and I have known each other for a few years. I won't say those empty words. Firstly, I hope to become stronger. Secondly, if it's Unquestionable Sword set up, what exactly is that thing that can attract me so much from thousands of miles away? Thirdly, it's not our habit to sit back and watch. If there's a problem, then we'll face it head on and think of a way to solve it. Fourthly, now that the restricted area, Grandmaster, as well as some of the old antique's descendants and heirs have all gathered there, if they go and we, the young human powerhouses, don't go, won't that make us look like cowards? Fifthly, at the fifth point, old Wang smiled. I hope that you can accompany me there. If you go, I'll feel more at ease. The probability of turning danger into safety will be higher. Tisk tsk. Qin Fengqin clicked his tongue. Li Hansong also broke into a grin. What's up with the two of you? What a gay couple! Qin Fengqin teased. Fan Ping will only feel at ease if he's with you. Old Wang, since when did you become such a little wife? Wang Jinyang was calm and composed. I'm only rank 7. Of course, I don't have the confidence. If I don't look for Fan Ping, should I look for you? As he said that, Jiang Chao said aggrievedly. Don't. Everyone, what about me? That's my opportunity. Mine. Patriarch has already said that I'm rank 8. This opportunity is mine. Now. I'm going to fly. Fatty felt extremely aggrieved. I've been waiting for this thing. Great, now that everyone knows, everyone wants to snatch it. But everyone, think about this pitiful person like me. Do you think it's easy for me to eat and wait for death? Do you think it's easy for me to get a rank 8 indestructible golden body? But now, I'm really going to fly. As Jiang Chao said that, he added, Everyone, let me make it clear. This place was first discovered by my family's patriarch, he knows some secrets. I'm not a greedy person, but you must share the benefits with me. Jiang Chao said hurriedly. There might not be only one emperor level who died that year. There should be more than one treasure inside. I don't have any ideas, as long as you can get me a rank 8 golden body. If that's the case, I can provide some information to everyone. Qin Fengqin rolled his eyes. You don't have any ideas? Just get a rank 8 golden body. That's easy for you to say. Jiang Chao said gloomily. I don't have a choice, I can only rely on this. As he was talking, the phone in Jiang Chao's pocket rang. Jiang Chao glanced at it and said in surprise, My family's old man. Answer. Fang Ping said. Jiang Chao picked up the call quickly. Soon, Jiang Yuanhua's voice came through. Patriarch has news. In the era of great competition, you have to fight even if you're afraid of death. No matter how afraid you are, you still have to make a trip. If you follow them, you might be able to enter rank 8. Otherwise, based on your situation, if the opportunity is taken away this time, you might not have any hope of entering rank 8. What Patriarch means is that if you follow Fang Ping this time, you don't have to participate in the battle. Fang Ping, you guys don't have to feel pressured. If he dies, that's because he's not tough enough. You don't have to save him. If the situation is right, you can lend a hand. If you encounter danger, just leave him behind. Regarding the Emperor's tomb, Patriarch will send over information very soon. When the time comes, whether you bring Jiang Chao or not, I will give you a copy. Also, I will go this time too. But I won't be with you guys. I'm going to meet some old friends. Jiang Yuanhua knew that Jiang Chao was here with Fang Ping. Bring Jiang Chao along. Don't care if he lives or dies. He will give the information whether he brings it or not. But if he really brought Jiang Chao along, could Fang Ping not care? Fang Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. Old Jiang, I haven't even confirmed that I want to go. Senior Warlord is so sure that I will go. Patriarch said that your eyes will light up when you see treasures. This time it's a real treasure. Things that grow in the Emperor's tomb will not be too bad. The monster plant that Martial King got back then is actually not ordinary. It absorbed the Emperor Corpse's energy. Fang Ping said hurriedly. Don't say any more. I'm disgusted. When I think about how the minister grew up drinking corpse water, I feel like vomiting for a while on his behalf. Jiang Yuanhua was speechless. This kid was still being unreasonable. But then again, thinking about it carefully, it was indeed a little disgusting. But for martial artists to advance, forget about this little bit of disgust. Did Qing Feng Qing not eat blood mud with relish back then? Jiang Yuanhua did not say much. He continued, the Emperor's tomb is said to be in the boundary zone. In reality, the boundary zone of Purple Cap Mountain is a little complicated. It seems to be divided into 2 halves. The Emperor's tomb occupies half of it. Now, there is a lot of movement over there. There are many space cracks. It will be dangerous even for the Apex to go. We may need to wait for a few more days before it will officially calm down. Therefore, everyone is still observing at the moment. No one will enter in the short term. If you are interested, then be prepared. Oh right, this time people from other holy lands may also go. The situation will be very complicated. There will be seniors and juniors. What about the ultimate king and the others? They most likely won't go. Jiang Yuanhua explained. The boundary zone is more obvious against them. It's fine if they are weaker, but if they are stronger. Once they appear there, it may even cause the Forbidden Sea's apex demons to appear. Plus, it's still in the outer region. This time, the powerhouses from both sides may observe, but I'm afraid there won't be anyone who will participate personally. Right now the catacombs are preparing for the king's battleground. The humans have their own matters too. Therefore, it should still be a fight under the apex. Fang Ping licked his lips and laughed. If that's the case, only the origin realm is the strongest. Then no matter what, I, Fang Ping, must join in the fun. Someone might be scheming against him, or old Wang. He could not hide from this matter. Fang Ping hung up the phone quickly. He looked at Wang Jinyang and said, It might not be targeting me. Old Wang, I think it might be related to you. It doesn't attract others, but it just happens to attract you. What a coincidence. Could it be that the other party has been scheming against me since a few thousand years ago, knowing that we are close? It's very likely that it's targeting you. A few thousand years ago, I couldn't have schemed against me. But you might still be alive a few thousand years ago. Scheming against you is normal. That battle with unquestionable Jian happened 1,000 years ago. Wang Jinyang raised his eyebrows slightly. 1,000 years ago. According to the current clues, we shouldn't have been resurrected 1,000 years ago, right? Fang Ping laughed. Everything is hard to say. Also, with just a few of you fellows, it's hard to say how many times you've been resurrected. Really, old Wang, I've even suspected whether you've been resurrected a few times. As soon as he said that, everyone fell silent instantly. Was this possible? Yes. Li Hansong said vaguely. Old Wang might have been unquestionable Jian in his past life. He might have had other identities in his past life. It's all possible. Wang Jinyang did not explain anything. In reality, even he himself could not be sure. Beside him, Yao Qingjun suddenly said, Fan Ping, you're talking about us. What about you? Me? Fan Ping was just about to speak when Li Hansong grinned. He's the celestial emperor of the Fang, the only celestial emperor. He died in the battle after the celestial realm was destroyed. Of course, he wasn't here 1,000 years ago. Get lost! Fan Ping cursed. This fellow, now he was indirectly calling him a dog. You're the celestial dog. Everyone burst out laughing. Very quickly, Wang Jinyang said again. Fan Ping, I won't stand on ceremony with you. I really need your help this time. I'll prepare for it these few days. After you're done with the new year, how about you accompany me? Fan Ping laughed. Why are you saying all this? Do you need to be so polite with me? Even if you didn't say it, I was prepared to accompany you. Besides, there are benefits to be gained now. Maybe I can achieve Golden Body 9th refinement. It was rare for old Wang to speak. The last time he said this was when he went to Tiannan to save his teacher. In the past few years he had only said this twice. Fan Ping had to consider the degree of danger when it came to other people's matters. Old Wang had led him into martial arts. Last New Year's Eve, old Wang did not hesitate to risk his life to help him fight the evil sect martial artists. This was a life-saving favor. For this, Fan Ping would go no matter how dangerous it was this time. As Fan Ping said that, he looked at the others and smiled. All of you want to go? Jiang Chao said helplessly. I don't want to go. You can just share some benefits with me when the time comes. But now that the elder ancestor has said this, the information will be given away for free. If I don't go, how can I get any benefits? As he said that, Jiang Chao was all smiles. Fan Ping, don't listen to my grandfather's nonsense. What do you mean live or die with me? I still have to save a life when I need it. Of course, it's not like I can't protect myself at all. Don't worry, when I go back this time, I'll bring everything from home. I'll get whatever I want. Fan Ping burst out laughing. Beside him, Qin Fengqin grinned. I'm not going with you. I've already thought about it. I'll go with Su Bing and the others. Fan Ping, don't gather everyone from the Heaven Division this time. Split up. It's up to them whether they want to go or not. I'll blend into their group. Don't worry, I won't be able to kill you even if I kill them. Fan Ping glanced at him and thought for a moment. Take it easy then. These grandmasters have their own plans. In their eyes, you're just a pawn that can be discarded at any time. Qin Fengqing's eyes flickered. Don't worry. Also, these grandmasters might even know people from Purple Cap Mountain Grotto Heaven. These people know a lot of secrets. Maybe there are some special secrets that you guys don't know, but they do. In the battle 1,000 years ago, when unquestionable Jian was surrounded and killed, did no one from places like Black Light Sect participate? If there was, then their understanding of Emperor's Tomb is even more than warlords. Following them might lead to unexpected gains. Even if there are unexpected gains, they won't give them to you. You're a rank 7 martial artist. Don't have those ideas. You'll get into trouble easily. Fortune comes from danger. Qin Fengqing laughed for a while and said, This time there's a gathering of wind and clouds over there. All the young geniuses from the major forces have come out. Maybe I can meet those geniuses and kill a few. It's not a bad idea to make a name for myself, Qin Fengqing. You're confident. Qin Fengqing laughed again. He stood up and said, "Then I'll leave first to inform them." "Oh right, Senior Warlord's information is here. If it's not important, give me a copy. I'll use it as a stepping stone." After saying that, this fellow left in a carefree and unrestrained manner. Fang Ping waited for him to leave before saying, "This guy still likes to take risks. I hope there won't be any trouble this time. That's his personality. You want him to practice martial arts in a down-to-earth manner. Not to mention him, can you or I do it?" Wang Jinian laughed and quickly said, "Don't worry about him. Now, the courageous will die of starvation. I'll go back to Nanjiang and keep an eye on him. I'll inform you if there's any news." Seeing that he was about to leave, Fang Ping chuckled. "It's the new year, and you're going back now? Why don't you stay and eat with us? Can't bear to part with your little wife? Get lost." Wang Jinian cursed and said, "We still have to go back. Right now, the situation in Nanjiang is unclear. There aren't many powerhouses in Nanjiang, so we can forget about eating. After we've quelled the threat of the catacombs, we'll have plenty of opportunities to eat. Say goodbye to Uncle and Auntie for me. I came in a hurry this time and didn't prepare my New Year's gift. I'll make it up to you later." As soon as he finished speaking, the few of them left in a hurry. Very soon, they went their separate ways and left swiftly. This was what it meant to be a martial artist. This was what it meant to be an expert. Whether it was the end of the year or not, as long as there was something to do, there was no rest to speak of. As for Fang Ping, he had also made up his mind. After celebrating the New Year at home, it was time for him to leave. Home was warm, but no matter how warm it was, he should not be attached to it. The Heavenly Division's matter had not been resolved, the evil sect member had not interrogated him, and the Jiao was still waiting for him in the Magic City catacombs. Thinking about this series of events, Fang Ping's head suddenly ached. It looked like the next year would be another busy one. Outside the window, firecrackers were already exploding. It was New Year's Eve. Chapter 885. I wish Mom and Dad good health and peace every year. In the dining room, Fang Ping raised his glass and drank to his heart's content. The old couple was grinning from ear to ear. Although they were old, they were actually less than 50 years old. The couple laughed happily. Fan Yuan looked at Fang Ping eagerly. Fang Ping ignored her. "You're a junior. You should be toasting your brother, not the other way around." Ignoring her, Fang Ping raised his glass again. He looked at the sitting cat and smiled. "Brother Cat, this glass is for you. I'm a peace-loving cat. If everyone was like you, the world would be at peace a long time ago. I hope there are more powerhouses like you. I hope there are more demons like you." The cat looked curious. It held the glass with its paws and took a sip. TSK TSK TSK, cat mouth. It did not taste good. This action amused the whole family. The Fang couple was a little afraid of this cat when it first arrived. After 2 days, the whole family was not afraid anymore. Just as Fang Ping said, this was a peace-loving cat. It ate and slept, and ate when it was full. It went out for a walk when it was free. Other than eating a little more, there was nothing unusual about it. The cat did not care about everyone's laughter. It was very calm. After living for so many years, it rarely got angry, unless someone snatched its food. Fang Ping smiled as he drank. "Brother Cat, rumor has it that New Year's Eve is a custom from the Pre-Qin dynasty. It's said that a monster called Nian would devour livestock and harm humans on this day every year. That's why people said New Year's Eve to chase away Nian." The cat listened like it was listening to a story, waiting for the rest. Fang Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. He smiled. "Brother Cat, was there a monster called Nian in the Pre-Qin dynasty?" As soon as he said that, Fang Mingrong and his wife were surprised. What did that mean? Pre-Qin. The cat thought back as it ate. Was there? I don't really remember. There were so many monsters. I don't know which one you're talking about. Fang Ping laughed and said, "Then let's not talk about this for now. Brother Cat, according to the records, the bounded domain was formed more than 2,000 years ago. At that time, you were probably still awake. Were there powerhouses in the human world at that time? There were. The old cat nodded and replied seriously. At that time, there were also many strong people in the world. Actually, when the bounded boundaries were built, many people came from the human world. In the beginning, most of them were in the human world and only came to the human world later. Why are the humans in the catacombs different from us? Do we really have the same ancestor? The cat shook its head and said, I don't know. When I woke up, there were already people in the earth realm and the human realm. Then there was the big sun. Ping's Fang and sun. Fang Ping's gaze flickered slightly. Then the big sun appeared? I didn't, Cat said. The cat meowed and wolfed down the food. It wasn't me who said it, I didn't say it. Ping cat, ping, and God year. Out. Cat. And ping, the Fang cat s goes. Ping. Old to fangs. S to olds then to. And ping. Legend to ping. R and to. And ping and long and dead. Were. Are. Old and. Are they dead? The cat was not sure. A lot of people died. Some of them are probably the people in ping. They all died. My acquaintances are getting fewer and fewer. Sometimes when I wake up, I don't know anyone anymore. How many years has Brother Cat been sleeping? I don't remember. The cat looked at him like he was an idiot. Who would record time when they were sleeping? Was that not an idiot? Sleep then, sleep until you wake up naturally. Brother Cat, is there no limit to your lifespan? Lifespan? The cat thought about it seriously this time. Then, with a serious face, he said, I won't die. Some people say I can live until the 3 realms shatter. Fang Ping was stunned. What did that mean? This cat had no limit to its lifespan? How was that possible? Even the golden body would decay at some point. No matter how strong a powerhouse was, one day, they would decay, grow old, and die. This cat could not die. Who said that? I don't remember. Maybe it's the owner of the heavenly realm. The cat said casually. Who would remember this? It did not matter how long it lived. The more Fang Ping chatted with the cat, the more he felt that this cat was a little strange. A cat that could not die. A cat that knew countless VIPs. Yet some of its memories had been sealed, causing it to be unable to understand some things. Is unquestionable swords master good or bad? The cat was troubled. There were so many questions. Liars were especially annoying. Could they not disturb the cat when it was eating? Neither good nor bad. What do you mean? That means neither good nor bad. The cat began to drag out its tone. This meant that it was about to go crazy. If you disturb me while I'm eating again, I'll stab you to death. Fang Ping chuckled and could only stop asking. Neither good nor bad. The cat's answer surprised him. After New Year's Eve, the new year officially began. For Sino Nation, New Year's Eve was the real New Year. Everything was revived, and the land welcomed spring. This year's New Year's Eve, for many people, was the real peace and quiet. In previous years, on New Year's Eve, many catacombs would riot. This year, however, there was none. Magic City Catacombs Battle, Tian'an Battle, Forbidden City Battle, the news of 3 consecutive catacombs battles spread throughout the Outer Realm. Sino Nation destroyed 3 Outer Realms in a row, killing hundreds of rank 9 martial artists. Under such circumstances, New Year's Eve was extremely quiet. There was almost no movement in the Outer Realms, which gave some powerhouses some rare time to rest. On the island, Heaven Department Headquarters. When Fang Ping arrived, the smell of alcohol filled the air. On the martial arts field, it was a mess. A group of old people were sprawled on the ground, sleeping. All kinds of leftovers were thrown on the ground. Wine bottles were everywhere. The wine did not intoxicate them. Would a little wine be able to make these martial arts experts drunk? Last night many of them were really drunk. Fan Ping suddenly had an indescribable feeling. Many of the old people here today were homeless. The home they guarded for their whole lives, homeless. Tian Mu, Li Changxing, Bei Gong Yan, these people were all homeless. Tian Mu fought in the catacombs for his whole life. Li Changxing never married. Bei Gong Yan guarded the forbidden catacombs for decades and never married or had children. There were many people like this. They were all alone. Sometimes, Fan Ping did not quite understand their persistence. Other people fought for their home, for their loved ones. Why did they fight? Fan Ping suppressed the bitterness in his heart and laughed loudly. I say, aren't you guys too much? I was prepared to give New Year's greetings this early in the morning. I wanted to praise all of you for sticking to your posts on New Year's Eve. In the end, this is what I see? On a broken table, Old Manly was sleepy. He yawned and said, It's New Year's Eve. Don't bother with pleasantries. Why didn't you stay at home with your parents for a few more days? Why are you here today? I have to do something, Fan Ping said helplessly. I didn't have the mood to do anything for the past 2 days. The new year has passed. I'm the minister, after all. How can I not come? Deputy Minister! Tian Mu rubbed his black eye and corrected him. Minister Chen isn't dead yet. Why are you in such a hurry to replace him? Fan Ping was speechless. He ignored him. Very quickly he cupped his hands and said, Let's not talk about anything else. Happy New Year to all the elders! Old Manly said lazily. You still want red packets? How old are you? If you have something to do, go do it. Don't be an eyesore here. Fan Ping did not reply. He looked around and asked, Where are the people from Grandmaster? They've gone to Capital City. Old Zhang set up a review process. He asked them to go to Capital City to go through the procedures to establish a sect. After the new year, they'll start recruiting disciples. Be more direct. They're going to pay protection fees. Old Manly laughed. Old Zhang has set a lot of conditions. He can establish a sect, and he can also recruit disciples. Pay up! Money makes the world go round. These people still have some money. It's not bad to fork out some. Fan Ping nodded. This was in line with old Zhang's style. Since he had agreed to cooperate, old Zhang would not renege on his debt. He would not take advantage of the situation. These people would not stand a chance if they did not bleed. I'm here for 2 things. First, count last year's harvest. Second, I have something to do in Purple Cap Mountain this time. I need to ask everyone's opinion and see how the Heavenly Division should handle this. Tian Mu continued to rub the dark circles under his eyes. He said casually, That girl from the Chen family hasn't left yet. She's been helping out with logistics. I say, you brat, it's the new year and you didn't even greet her. Aren't you embarrassed? She's still working here on New Year's Eve. You just left after saying that. I was thinking you could have asked her to go to your house for the new year last night. Fan Ping laughed. Senior Tian, you've wronged me. I did call her last night. Just a phone call and it's over? Tian Mu scolded. Heartless and heartless. People like you should be single for life, just like Li Changxing. Old Manly said gloomily. I said, don't drag me into this. When I was young, there were too many women who pursued me. I was obsessed with martial arts. I didn't care about these things. Beside him, Bei Gong Hai did not utter a word. Whenever he spoke, old Tian would drag him into it. Tian Mu was married and had children. Although they were no longer around, this was old Tian's capital. He was not a bachelor. He could only be considered a widower. Fan Ping did not argue. He laughed. Didn't Instructor Li have plans to get married? Why are you turning down now? At the mention of this, old man Li's gaze suddenly dimmed. Then, it returned to normal. He scolded jokingly. None of your business. When Huang Jing was still around, Huang Jing was afraid that he would not be able to return during the siege of Skygate City, so he arranged this for Old Manly. After that, he did not die in the battle. He even hid for a few days because of this. In the end, he still died in Magic City's catacombs not long after. At the mention of this, Fan Ping also thought of Huang Jing. Without saying anything more, he quickly walked toward the office building. As soon as he left, Tian Mu shook his head. That girl is a little unlucky. I'm afraid this kid is not in the mood to talk about these things now. War harms people. It's fine for us old things, but these young people can't go back to their homes. They can't express their feelings. They're afraid that they'll die on the battlefield one day. Sigh. Old Manly laughed. What's the rush? There's still a long way to go. If you have the time, think about how to reach the top. Once you reach the top, you'll have more high-end combat strength. Humans will have it easier, and so will the young people. I'm almost there. Tian Mu was very confident. He smiled and said, I'm walking the path of Pine Monarch. The Great Tao is clear. It's just a matter of how long it will take for me to reach Pine Monarch's level. At the longest, 1 year. At the shortest, 3 to 5 months. I don't have Wu Quishan's confidence to walk 2 days, but in that case, I'll probably only be able to deal with some weak true monarchs. I can only say that I'm temporarily supporting everyone. In the future, I'll have to depend on you guys. I don't like what you just said. Old Manly harumphed. The Great Path is a path we walk on ourselves. You're walking the path of King Pine, so don't you have the confidence to surpass King Pine? If you don't have the confidence now, then you really won't have a chance. That's true. The longer I live, the more muddled I become. Tian Mu burst into laughter and cursed. Damn, who beat me up last night? Everyone fell silent. Who knows? Even if he knew, he couldn't say it. As for who did it, there were only a few people. Who asked Tian Mu to be so arrogant? If he didn't beat him, who else would he beat? Outside, a group of old men and old women were making a lot of noise. In the office building. In the huge office, Qin Yunxi was busy with a few young female martial artists. The Heaven Division had just been formed. Previously, they had annihilated the cult headquarters and subdued a few grandmasters. They still had to go to Magic City catacombs to receive the resources allocated by Fang Ping. There were a lot of things to do and a lot of chores. Nowadays, most of the people in MCMAU were cultivating. There were not many things to do in the school. Qin Yunxi was temporarily transferred to the Heaven Division. The old people could not be bothered with these things. Most of them were handled by the young martial artists. In the office, Lingyi looked at Qin Yunxi, who was sitting and reading documents. She grumbled, I say, Qin Yunxi, you're so patient. Why are you looking at these things? It's the new year, and I still have to keep you company here. Sister Yi, you go back first. Go back where? Lingyi said gloomily. It wasn't easy for me to sneak into the Heaven Division. In order to enter rank 6, I've spent half of CC Meiyu's assets. If I don't make a name for myself in the Heaven Division, how can I go back? My strength is the lowest. If I don't do these things and that despicable Fang Ping finds out, he'll make things difficult for me. This guy is very narrow-minded. He's not as scary as you say. Qin Yunxi laughed. Lingyi said disdainfully, Come on. That guy is narrow-minded. How long has it been? The last time he saw me, he asked me if I regretted it. He asked me to come to MC Mayu, but I didn't. Now I'm here. He even attacked me. When we were in the rank 3 ranking, he was comparable to a rank 9. Qin Fengqing was almost rank 8. In the end, I was the first rank 3 in a martial arts university. I'm doing the worst. You say he's not narrow-minded? Lingyi snorted. Fan Ping, this guy, was very vengeful. Didn't she say that he liked to hit girls? It wasn't her who said it. That's what the outside world said. It was a long time ago. Now that they've met, he still wants to provoke her. But then again, it was really tragic. Back then, she was the first among rank 3. When Qin Fengqing was rank 3, he was suppressed by her. In the end, Qin Fengqing did not take the path of invincibility at all. He entered rank 4 directly. Fang Ping, on the other hand, had left. He had fought her, and won by a notch. Back then, both of them were on par. In the blink of an eye, the gap between them was like heaven and earth. She was able to enter rank 6 thanks to Li Hansong, who got a lot of resources and sent them back to CC Meiyu. This time, the weakest person in the Heaven Division had to be rank 6. CC Meiyu's old vice-chancellor was also a decisive person. Knowing that Lingyi wanted to go, he made up his mind and threw a lot of resources, forcefully pushing her from early stage rank 5 to peak rank 5. Lingyi herself had also worked hard. She broke through the rank 5 barrier and manifested the Sanjiao Gate. Only then did she have the chance to enter the Heaven Division. However, in the Heaven Division, she, an early stage rank 6, was the weakest kind. She could only do these chores. Lingyi was still talking when someone said lightly beside her ear, "You're slandering your superior behind her back. Aren't you afraid of being kicked out?" Lingyi was shocked. She turned her head hurriedly, looking helpless. Appearing and disappearing unpredictably. She did not even notice. This guy was getting scarier and scarier. "I'm not slandering you. I'm talking about someone else." Lingyi denied it immediately. She was not talking about him. Even if she did, she would not admit it. Fang Ping glanced at her and sneered. "All right, if you have the time to talk nonsense, you should cultivate well. You're just an early stage rank 6 martial artist. Why do you have so much to say? Look at you. You're about to graduate. Is this CCMAU's most outstanding graduate this year? Look at MC Meiyu. Yunqi is going to be a grandmaster soon. It'll probably be this month or so. Xie Lei is the same rank as you. He's been in closed-door cultivation these few days. When he comes out, he'll probably be a grandmaster too. The others, Fu Changding and the rest, who aren't at peak rank 6 now waiting for the opportunity to break through. What about you? You're a disgrace to CC Meiyu." Lingyi almost vomited blood in anger. How could they compare like this? Didn't they know what kind of cultivation method MC Meiyu used to have? However, when she thought about it, CC Meiyu had more resources in the past. Now, it was MC Meiyu that had earned it themselves. Lingyi suddenly felt extremely dejected. She made up her mind. Just you wait. When I get enough resources in the Heaven Division and enter rank 7 or 8, I'll go back to CCMEU to fight the catacombs. Capital City's catacombs have not been destroyed yet. Fan Ping mocked her for a while before saying, "You didn't go back during the new year?" "If the minister doesn't say anything, would I dare to go back?" Lingyi pursed her lips and said, "You have to pay me overtime. I've been so busy these few days." "You're just an assistant. What are you busy with? Do you really think I don't know?" Fang Ping chuckled and said, "All right. When there's merit later, I'll help you enter peak rank 6. I'll give you a discount. After all, you're a woman. 10 is enough." I'll give you a discount. After all, you're a woman. 10 is enough. Of course. Of course. No problem." Lingyi was overjoyed. She said quickly, "Then I won't be the third wheel anymore. I'm leaving. Minister Fang, remember? I'll go to the catacombs later. Remember to promote me." As she said that, she winked at Qin and ran away, grinning. After she left, the other martial artists who were working here also smiled and left. Qin blushed slightly. Fang Ping laughed and said, "These people, just say it if they want to slack off." Having said that, he glanced at Qin and said with some emotion, "In the blink of an eye, a few years have passed. In a few months you'll be in your senior year. You don't even see yourself as a student anymore." It had been 3 years. Qin, who used to be timid, had changed a lot from before. On the battlefield, she was also a heroine who dared to fight and kill. Back on the ground, the work of logistics was also done in an orderly manner. Back then, Tang Feng said that she could only do logistics. Reality proved that she did it well. However, when it came to killing enemies, she was not careless either. Qin Yunqi, who had entered Mentality Vitality Unity for a while, would have no problem stepping into rank 7 in a few months if nothing went wrong. Qin Yunqi chuckled and got up to pour him a cup of tea. She said, "Why didn't you stay with Uncle and Auntie for a few more days?" "I can't stay any longer. I can't go home often. If I go back, it'll just wear away my fighting spirit. After staying at home for a few days, I don't really want to go back to the Heaven Division, and I don't really want to go to battle." Fan Ping said self-deprecatingly, "Staying at home, that's because I really want to live like this. I don't lack food and drink, parents take care of me, I can sleep until I wake up naturally. How can I still have the mood to fight?" He shook his head and did not continue this topic. Fan Ping said, "This time, it's been hard on you. You're the one worrying about the Heaven Division and MC Mayu's matters. I don't feel at ease letting someone else do the logistics work. It's okay. I'm not a weak woman. I'm almost rank 7. This is nothing." Qin Yunqi laughed, then quickly said, "I've arranged everything for you on your side. First, go to Magic City Catacombs to see Jiao. It seems to have something urgent. Second, interrogate that evil sect rank 9. Third, over at Magic City Catacombs Grand Canyon, there seems to be catacombs martial artists active. Previously, we sent someone to check it out. It should be someone from Destiny Royal Court. Maybe they want to talk to you. The other party is probably here on behalf of Ji Yao." Speaking of this, Qin Yunqi said with a faint smile, "Previously, Minister Zhang said to let you and Ji Yao unite by marriage to rope in Destiny Royal Court. Fan Ping, maybe this time you can talk to them." Fan Ping rolled his eyes. "You've changed. This woman did not used to be like this. Now, she actually knew how to make fun of him. I've seen Ji Yao once. She's quite beautiful, all right, what's the use of making fun of me?" Fan Ping picked up a document and read it, saying, "Humans and the Catacombs, a race war. Whether it's the same ancestor or not, for the past 100 years, millions of Sino nation heroes have died in battle. Marriage? Not to mention that the minister is just joking. Even if it's not a joke, I'll still object to this. It's not my problem, it's against this kind of policy. What does this mean? Asking for peace? After fighting for 100 years, so many people have died. Now, in order to drag out an ignoble existence, asking for peace? Although Destiny Royal Court is not the main force fighting against us, in these years, some Destiny cities have invaded and killed human powerhouses. Not to mention other things, in the Battle of Magic City, these Destiny Royal Court powerhouses have attacked one after another. Vice-Chancellor Huang Jing's death is definitely related to them. Humans will never compromise. This is the belief that we've been fighting for until now. To drag out an ignoble existence and endure humiliation is not the time. Unless humans are really on the verge of extinction and have nowhere else to go. At that time, if someone is really willing to accept us. So what if we endure hardships? But now, we can't do it. Once we compromise with the catacombs, human powerhouses will no longer have the will to fight, no longer have the will to die. Humans will collapse on their own. Qin Yunqi saw that he was serious and said hurriedly, "Fan Ping, I'm just joking. Look, you're making me so ashamed that I can't show my face." Fan Ping sighed. "It has nothing to do with you. I just thought of something. Humans must never compromise or give in. We're holding on to this pride now. If this pride is gone, humans will be finished. Our belief is shaken, that's the big deal. What you said reminded me, now that there are fewer wars between the two sides, the new generation may not have the conviction of their predecessors. We still need to let them gain more experience and fight. These people in the catacombs, if you're weak, they'll be strong. We must never show that we don't dare to fight. I have to remind old Zhang about this, he seems to have slacked off recently." As he said this, Qin Yunqi looked at him with a face full of admiration. "Now, When Fan Ping talked about human affairs and national affairs, he spoke with fervor and assurance. When he mentioned Minister Zhang and the others, he also had the attitude of a fellow colleague, which was quite impressive. She was admiring him. Fan Ping felt her gaze and laughed secretly. Ji Yao's matter was considered over, right? This woman, she still fought with him. Just a few words of wisdom from me, and you've forgotten them all. P.S. I'll recommend another book, The Urban Boutique. I can see the status bar. A boutique book will not die. Brothers, you can go read it. Chapter 886. In the office, Qin Yunqi began to report her previous gains. Annihilating the evil sect. We've seized about 1,000 caddies of energy stones and various pills worth about 10 billion. Other than that, it's worth about 30 billion in RMB and common currencies around the world. Fan Ping calculated for a while and smiled. The gains are not bad. I didn't expect the evil sect to have so many energy stones. It seems like the Pope has invested a lot. 1,000 caddies of energy stones did not sound like much now. Such a large evil sect only had this amount of energy stones. It was not even as much as what Fan Ping could get from a random trip to the catacombs. However, the two situations were different. The energy stones were not as abundant as now. Dark brightness sky, visualization sky, unbounded sky. The 4 Grand Masters turned in a total of 2,000 caddies of energy stones and 1,200 energy fruits. However, they're all energy fruits for low-ranked martial artists. Their value is average. Fan Ping nodded again. The 4 Grand Masters were just a way of expressing their intentions. If one were to say that they had really handed over a lot of good stuff, then they should not count on it. 3,000 caddies of energy stones was the biggest gain this time. According to the price Fan Ping offered, it was actually just a year's basic salary of a rank 9. The department will keep half of these things. The remaining half will be distributed according to merit. In addition, the merit will be recorded in the book. These things in the department can be exchanged when the merit is accumulated. Fan Ping did not expect to earn money from the Sky Division. How much could he earn? The main purpose of the Sky Division was not to earn money. Qin Yunqi recorded them one by one and asked, "What about the 3 departments and 4 houses? Don't worry about it." Fan Ping smiled. Now the Sky Division needs to concentrate resources and cultivate a group of powerhouses. The 3 departments and 4 houses are mainly cultivating middle and low-ranked martial artists. They don't need so many things. In the past, there were not many high-ranked powerhouses. The 3 departments and 4 houses were cultivating grassroots strength. Only when the grassroots strength was enough could powerhouses be born on this foundation. Now, there were more than 4 million martial artists in Sino Nation. Now, they were pursuing quality. The existence of the Sky Division was actually to provide a platform for some ambitious powerhouses to produce some true top-notch powerhouses. Okay. Qin Yunqi did not say much and continued to record. After a while, Fan Ping stood up and said, "I'll go interrogate that guy. You don't have to keep busy here. Just leave some basic work to the others. There are more than 200 rank 6 martial artists. These things can be done." Got it. After exiting the office, Fan Ping glanced at his wealth. Wealth 5. 810 billion points vitality, 131,000 calories, 131,800 calories, mentality, 8,225 Hz, 8,399 Hz, power of destruction, 64 yuan, 64 yuan, storage space, 10,000 cubic meters, plus, energy barrier, 1./minute, plus, aura simulation, 10 per minute, plus, origin detailed analysis, 10-100 million points/time. His wealth was even higher than when he came out of closed-door cultivation, mainly because of the origin armor and the Xianning divine pill. These 2 items had increased his wealth by close to 200 million points. These days, Fan Ping had used up some of his energy. After going on a few expeditions, his vitality and mentality had both improved. His vitality had exceeded 130,000 calories. It should be slightly higher than Old Man Lee's now. In the rank 9 realm, some Origins martial artists might not even have as high a basic vitality as he was now. Xianming Divine Pill. As he walked out, Fang Ping was thinking about the Xianming Divine Pill. Right now, his mental power and physical body were still in balance. Actually, consuming the Xianming Divine Pill did not have much of an effect on him. However, there were still people who could use it. Li Hansong and Old Zhao could use it. However, Fang Ping was thinking about whether he should let them use it to create balance. Balance sometimes actually represented mediocrity. Old Yao's mentality was strong, and Li Hansong's physical body was strong. These were the foundations that made them stronger than their peers. Once this balance was created, it might cause some decline in strength. Maybe it's still more suitable for me to use it. Fang Ping thought of a problem. If he could obtain some treasures that could enhance mentality or physical body from Purple Cap Mountain this time and consume them, it might cause one side of his strength to skyrocket, while the other side's strength to enter a stagnant state. At Purple Cap Mountain, the probability of the treasures that grew from the corpses to enhance the physical body was higher. When that time came, maybe he could use the Xianming Divine Pill to balance it out and increase his mentality. I'll keep it for now, Fang Ping thought in his heart. A large amount of wealth appeared in his mind again, as well as what the old cat had said. These imperishable substances were actually stolen. They were not born by him. Imperishable substances can be used for combat, recovery, and can also be used to fill materialized objects. However, these external imperishable substances are not born by me after all. Maybe I should change. The imperishable substances that I've born by myself are actually only that 64 yuan. In the future, the imperishable substances from the system should be used mainly as consumables, not as my own foundation. Fang Ping had always neglected this point. He did not really care about the little bit of imperishable substances that he had born. 64 yuan. If he used wealth to exchange, 640,000 wealth points would be enough. What was the use of this little bit of imperishable substances? In reality, he had almost never used his own imperishable substances, and he had never specially cultivated them. When he fought, they were all born by the system. However, these were, after all, external objects. I have to pay attention to this. Other than that, my origin path now has some direction. These few days, Fang Ping was not idling around. He was also thinking about the direction of his path. How to build a broad and long-lasting Tao of the origin. What kind of preparations were needed to open up this path in the origin space? The origin path that I've seen is still too little. I should see more. Now that I have quite a lot of wealth points, I should take a look at not only the humans but also the demons. Fang Ping thought of the 2 rank 9 monsters in heaven. This was also an opportunity to take a look. And those grandmasters, these people's origin paths, he should take a look himself. Even if he did not gain anything, knowing some of their weaknesses could also prevent these people from turning against him in the future. Heaven's Prison. This was built by Fang Ping and the others a few days ago, specifically to imprison powerhouses. Surrounding it were walls that were solidified by peerless powerhouses' mentality. The walls were not made of alloy, but some mountain rocks from Mount Imperial Sea. These mountain rocks were much sturdier than ordinary alloys. Mount Imperial Sea was built to defend against the Forbidden Sea. Heaven's Prison was actually equivalent to a small Mount Imperial Sea. This prison was also built to make it convenient to imprison some important people in the future. In the prison, Tian Mu, Bei Gongyan, and the others had already arrived. As soon as Fang Ping arrived, the golden house appeared, shrinking to the size of a normal house. The golden walls turned transparent in the blink of an eye. In the house, that middle-aged martial artist from the evil sect was still attacking hysterically. However, his strength was much weaker than before. In the golden house, Fang Ping could shut off the energy passageway. The other party could not recover. His flesh was destroyed, and his mentality was constantly being depleted. Right now, he was already extremely weak. The moment the golden house became transparent, the other parties saw Fang Ping and the others. The illusory mentality condensed into a human form. Mentality fluctuations were intense. Fang Ping! Let me go! Fang Ping found a chair and sat down. He laughed. At this time, do you really not know, or are you pretending not to know? Do you think you still have a way out? Of course, I haven't killed you yet. Actually, there is still a chance of survival. This chance of survival, do you want to take it or not? Think carefully. Having said that, Fang Ping condensed a mass of imperishable substance in his hand. He laughed. Maybe if I'm in a good mood, I can help you recover your flesh. You have to know that in your current situation, even if you really go out, you will only be a mass of mentality. Do you think someone will be willing to help you recover your flesh? Can you do it yourself? The God in your eyes, the big Pope, will he waste a large amount of imperishable substance to help you recover your flesh? At rank 7, if the flesh was destroyed, but the mentality was not destroyed, one could not die. However, it did not mean that one could recover his flesh at will. Even if the other party was a rank 9 powerhouse, if he could not recover his flesh quickly, his mentality would be slowly worn out, becoming a rootless source. Sooner or later, it would be completely obliterated. The middle-aged man's illusion became even more illusory. He said resentfully, "Even if I die now, I will resurrect again sooner or later." Fang Ping sneered. "Others believe it, but you? The big Pope will really resurrect you. Let's not talk about whether he has the ability or not. Even if he does, how much do you think it will cost to resurrect a person? You're a prisoner. Until now, you still refuse to self-destruct. Why are you pretending to be a tough guy in front of me? If you were like the others, you would have self-destructed long ago. I wouldn't even have the chance to interrogate you." The middle-aged man said nothing. Fang Ping laughed. "All right, let's not talk about this anymore. Pretending to be a tough guy depends on who you're facing. Do you think I, Fang Ping, will care about this? Will I admire you just because of this? Stop joking." Fang Ping shook his head. He went straight to the point. "Let me ask the first question. All these years, how many humans have died in your hands?" The middle-aged man's mentality body trembled slightly. His mentality fluctuated. "I have never killed humans." The Church of God's martial artists have also been living in seclusion. Those Church of God's disciples in society are just disciples of other sects. Don't confuse other sects with the Church of God's. Fang Ping sneered. Tian Mu sneered. You speak as if you're a white lotus. However, if you say that you rats don't dare to come out, I can still believe it. However, I'm afraid that you've given a lot of orders behind the scenes. If you say that those sect disciples' murder and arson have nothing to do with you, do you think we'll believe that? If you say that you haven't killed humans, I'll believe you. If you say that you haven't ordered the evil sect disciples to create chaos, who will believe that? The middle-aged man fell silent again. There were some things that were useless to deny. However, very quickly, the middle-aged martial artist's mentality fluctuated again. He said, "The Church of God's goal is not those ordinary humans, nor is it those middle and low-ranked martial artists. Even if we have a plan, it will rarely be these people. You're right. We have created some chaos. However, all of you know that the Church of God has not gained any advantages over the years. Instead, they have suffered great losses." Fang Ping interrupted him with a smile. "Since you're still trying to defend yourself, then you're asking to live, right? If he did not want to live, he did not need to defend himself at all." The middle-aged martial artist fell silent. "Name." Fang Ping was straightforward. He stopped asking about this and started asking for information. "Shinsan." Fang Ping's eyes were cold. He growled, "Real name." "Shinsan is only a code name. It's also my real name." Shinsan's mentality fluctuated deeply. A long, long time ago, Shinsan was my name. We are God's messengers. We don't need secular names. Age. Shinsan paused. After a while he said, Is there a need to ask? Just tell me if I ask. Around 2,500 years old. Shinsan himself could not explain it clearly. He said in an even lower voice, I've been alive since the end of the God and Devil era. Fang Ping smiled. I guessed it. So, you're a human from the spring and autumn warring states period? You can say that. Tell me, who is the High Pope? When did you start following him? Could it be that you were one 2,000 years ago? Shinsan was silent for a moment. He said slowly, Fang Ping, at this point, I want to live. There are some things that I can say. There are some things that I can't say. Even if I say it, I won't be able to escape death. Moreover, there are many things that I don't know. At this point, Shinsan's tone was low. I'm not too sure about the High Pope either. 2,000 years ago, I was just a martial artist in the mortal world. At that time, it was coincidentally the time when the emperors founded sects and built the bounded boundaries. At that time, I went to the Earth realm, wanting to join a sect. Halfway through, a powerhouse appeared and recruited us into a sect. What sect? Fang Ping asked quickly. Shinsan pondered for a moment. After a while he said, To the public, it was the divine sect. It was just a small sect back then. The bounded boundaries were actually big sects back then. Sects with emperors overseeing them were the real bounded boundaries. Other than these big sects back then, there were also some scattered small sections. Some were founded by true gods, some were founded by origins. There were even some rank 8 golden bodies who founded sections. At that time, I was only rank 3. Fang Ping frowned slightly. Didn't they say that it was difficult to travel between the two realms? You, a rank 3 martial artist, could actually go to the catacombs from Earth? Shinsan explained. Back then, when the emperors founded sects, some of them left some passageways in the outer sect of the human world for martial artists like us who had the ambition to go to the Earth realm to pass through. We only needed to pay a small fee. Back then, I went to the Earth realm through such passageways. In reality, there were some grandmasters that took the initiative to open to the public, allowing martial artists from both realms to pass through. However, the grandmaster passageways were only accessible to powerhouses. Without rank 7, it was impossible to step into the grandmaster. The divine sect was founded by a rank 9 origin martial artist. During that time, it was not considered the strongest, but it was not the weakest either. There were many sects in the Earth realm at that time. Sects founded by rank 9 martial artists were like carps crossing the river. They were not very famous. And we were brought to the divine sect. After that, it was a cruel elimination and selection process. Shinsan was lost in his memories. After a long time, he said, Not only us, but a few other sects were also like that. We would enter some small worlds, similar to the Grandmaster's Grandmaster. There, we would kill, seize treasures, compete, cultivate. Among that group of people, I was considered one of the most talented. After a few years, I entered a high rank. At this point, Shinsan said slowly, At that time, the bounded domain had just been established not long ago. But at this time, there was already chaos. The Earth realm was extremely chaotic. You didn't experience the destruction of the Earth Emperor God dynasty? No! Shinsan denied. When I entered the Earth realm was almost the same as it is now. At that time, the Earth Emperor God dynasty had already been destroyed. The two kings led the remaining troops and retreated to the Earth realm now. At that time, all parties were recuperating. The two kings were emperor-level powerhouses, with many true gods under their command. In short, during the period when the bounded domain was established, both parties were still at peace. What about Imperial Sea Mountain? Was it established during that period? Speaking of this, Shinsan knew. He said quickly, That's right. At that time, all parties did not continue to attack the two kings because of this. At that time, the Earth realm was actually much larger than it is now. The outer realm today was not on the same scale as it is now. Back then, the Earth realm led the remaining troops and retreated to the barren area in the middle. The outer realm was instead a prosperous area. The establishment of Imperial Sea Mountain was equivalent to the two kings imprisoning themselves within. Under such circumstances, the Emperor-level powerhouses did not continue to force them. The North Sea Emperor and the others united a group of powerhouses, including the remnants of the Earth Emperor God dynasty, and built Imperial Sea Mountain together. The bounded domain was built around Imperial Sea Mountain. On one hand, it was to guard these remnants, and on the other hand, it was for another purpose. What purpose? Fang Ping asked. At this time, he recalled what had happened in the past. When he went to the battlefield of the Grand Monarchs, he had thought that the Forbidden Zone might be a cage. And now, he actually had such intentions. He had to admit that he was really smart. Shinsan thought for a while before saying, "Actually, those great emperors did not have good intentions. They built the sect around Imperial Sea Mountain. In fact, it was connected to Imperial Sea Mountain. Back then, there was a great emperor who said that he wanted to use the Great Locked Dragon entrapment array to surround the Forbidden Zone. The bounded domain will extract the Forbidden Zone's energy. You might not know this, but Imperial Sea Mountain has the function of isolating the energy from the outside. And this function was actually to let the Forbidden Zone enter an era without spirit chi. The bounded domain in all directions is extracting the Forbidden Zone's energy. After the energy enters the bounded domain, it will not flow back. If it really succeeds, then 1,000 years later, the Forbidden Zone will completely become a barren land. The two kings also knew about this plan back then, but they were powerless to resist. Back then, there were too many Emperor-level powerhouses who had reached an agreement. They could only accept it passively. Hence, there was Imperial Sea Mountain, the bounded domain, and the current Forbidden Zone. Fang Ping frowned. What a grand plan! The area of the Forbidden Zone is probably 6 billion square kilometers. Such a large place was actually used as a cage back then? Then, does that mean that the outer realm is actually much bigger than it is now? That's right, Shinsan said affirmatively. It's very big. It's just that it's now being invaded by the Forbidden Sea, causing the outer realm to become a wasteland. When I entered the Earth realm, the outer realm was too big. If I really had to describe it, in the current Earth realm, the Forbidden Zone is like the inner circle center of the city. But back then, the Forbidden Zone was just a slightly bigger town. At least 90% of the outer realm was eroded. Back then, the bounded domain was where the Emperor was. It was not directly adjacent to the Bitter Sea, but at the core. Now, it's directly connected to the Bitter Sea. Now, you can understand how much has been eroded. The area where the Heavenly God sect used to be has now become the Forbidden Sea. Fan Ping nodded slightly and said lightly, "Continue." Shinsan continued, "Then let's continue talking about the Heavenly God sect. When I became a high-ranked martial artist, the Earth realm was already in chaos. At that time, the battle between the North and the South was getting more and more intense. Disciples from various sects would often exchange pointers, compete, and argue whether the physique sect or the spiritual consciousness sect was stronger. Who was the orthodox? As such, battles were commonplace and would often break out. In the beginning, both sides would still restrain themselves. But in the middle and later stages, they could no longer restrain themselves. Some small and medium-sized sects had also taken sides. And it was at that time that I realized the role of the Heavenly God sect and the other sects. Shinsan said absent-mindedly. At that time, we were actually the starting point of the chaos. At that time, we were ordered to kill the martial artists from various sections. Some went to the southern sect, some went to the northern sect. The massacre also started at that time. Middle ranks were fighting, high ranks were fighting, rank 7s were killed, rank 8s were killed. More and more people, under the banner of the battle between the North and the South, began to kill and seize treasures. It was at this time that the great chaos appeared. The heavenly God sect was not the cause of all the chaos. On the contrary, the heavenly God sect was only an insignificant part of it. Shinsan did not say all this to tell Fan Ping and the others anything. At this time, he laughed and said, "Everyone, I'm telling you all this because you should understand the Pope's ability." That's right, sects like the Heavenly God sect were actually supported by the Pope back then. The purpose was for the arrival of chaos. Fan Ping looked at him and said lightly, "That's a little interesting. If that's the case, the battle between the North and the South was actually secretly led by the Pope? But I didn't ask you about this. You took the initiative to say it. Don't tell me you're thinking of using this to intimidate us. Then you're underestimating us too much. It seems like you still don't understand," Shinsan said regretfully. "I'm telling you all this because I want to tell you that there are some things that you can't participate in. The battle between the North and the South back then was probably not led by the Pope alone, but by the tacit understanding of many emperors. This includes the divine sect today. Actually, it doesn't just mean that the Pope is one person, but a group of people. A group of powerhouses who can provoke the battle between the North and the South. A group of powerhouses who are risking their lives for the Emperor's road. Fan Ping, you want to find out who the Pope is? Although I really want you to die, I still have to tell you this. Even if you find out, what can you do? The divine sect has no intention of becoming enemies with you. Those disciples who attacked you earlier were just some peripheral disciples, not true divine sect disciples. Some things are deeper than you can imagine. Some powerhouses that you think are impossible might have participated in it. Others aside. Shinsan whetted his appetite and said in a mysterious tone, "Did no one participate in the summit of the 6 Holy Lands today? Fan Ping, this old man has lived for so many years, I understand some principles better than you. When it's time to play dumb, you don't have to get to the bottom of it. Isn't the situation very good now? The Pope has no intention of participating in the battle between you and the catacombs. If that's the case, why do you have to get to the bottom of it? In the end, you have no choice but to force the Pope to fall out with all of you. With the appearance of Grandmaster, there are still many catacombs powerhouses. You're already being attacked from all sides. At this time, the Pope no longer cares about the divine sect. He's only waiting patiently for the divine sect's wall to shatter. Do you really have to become enemies with the divine sect? Shinsan was trying his best to persuade him. It was unnecessary. Fan Ping gave him a deep look and said lightly, "I don't need you to tell me all this. Divine sect, right? Tell me the names of the other sects that participated back then. Also, all these years, who have you come into contact with after you've revived? Tell me clearly. Finally, tell me the names of all the Emperor-level martial artists that you know back then. Divide them into groups, the ones from the boundary zone, and the others." Shinsan said solemnly, "It seems like you're still unwilling to give up. Who are you to teach me?" Fan Ping said coldly, "You're just a prisoner. Do you really think this can scare me, Fan Ping? Scare me so much that I don't dare to kill you? Scare me so much that I don't dare to offend those people? What a joke! If you provide me with more information, I might let you live. You're just dreaming if you think you can survive by scaring me." Shinsan's mentality sighed. "Fine. Since you insist on doing this, I'll tell you everything I know. You won't get anything out of killing me. I've been tired all these years. Fan Ping, there's no need to kill me." Fan Ping sneered. He did not say much. With a shake of his hand, the other party's mentality was shaken out of the Golden House. "You just stay here." Having said that, Fan Ping looked at the others and said, "You guys continue to ask about the situation. Give me the interrogation records later." He felt that he might know something. The Pope. Maybe there was more than one person. Maybe they really were a group. Or maybe the Pope was simply a spokesperson. He also represented a force. Pope, Heavenly King Suppression. Fan Ping muttered. These two people actually seemed to represent a force. They did not exist independently. Some of the powerhouses today on the other hand, seem more like people who did not know anything. It's getting more and more interesting. Fang Ping laughed suddenly. Fine, he would enter the origin path as soon as possible. 9 refinements of the golden body and stepping into the origin path. He did not know if he would be qualified to participate when that time came. Now that old Zhang had jumped out of the chess game, he could not fall too far behind. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.